right. Happy Monday to everyone joining us on the Monday Night Rewind. This is Lewis here with Top Row Racing Media. Joining me just shortly on the other side will be Buju, and then we already have Chris and Tracy in the staging area. So you might notice that we are also live tonight on the new Paris Speedway Facebook page. So as long as Chris and Tracy are with us, you'll see us live on the new Paris. And then when they leave, it'll probably the show will leave with them. So certainly if you're watching us on new Paris Speedway, come over to Top Row Racing Media and finish watching the show with us. We'll have Wiktor, Jeremy Templeton, and Phillip with us talking about the Hartford Night of Destruction. So definitely feel free to come back if you are seeing us on the New Paris page. But other than that, we have big news coming out of New Paris, and that's why Chris and Tracy are joining us tonight on the Monday Night Rewind. So again, they will be coming up at 7:05, and then at 7:40, as mentioned, Wiktor and Friends will be joining. They were at the New Paris Night of Destruction a few weeks ago and put on quite the show with the Wings car there that caught a lot of attention. As a reminder, last Thursday we did take off. There was something I wanted to do, and Thursdays work best for us. So on Thursday, that's what I was doing last week. But this Thursday, we're back on schedule, and we'll have the Thursday night throttle that you are welcome to come in as we preview the upcoming weekend. And then, of course, I do want to do a reminder for our marketing partner special, ELH Detailing. If you want to go get a full detail and use the code TOPROW, the first drawing is here in just a few weeks where we'll be handing away detail on the house. They also have a car show this coming Saturday that starts early in the morning and goes through afternoon right here in Bridgman. So if you're into car shows and want something to do just before race day, definitely invite you to go out and check out ELH Detailing and their car show. All proceeds go to a camp that's out in North Dakota, I want to say, or Montana, something like. I got to look again, but North Dakota, Montana, that is for kids to go out and. So definitely something that they're raising funds for. And then, as of now, until next Monday or next Tuesday at 12:01 a.m. in the morning, anything on our Top Row Racing Media store is 40% off. So, and that's automatic. You don't need a discount. You just go add things to your shopping cart, whether you get something that's a few bucks or get a T-shirt or whatever it may be. 40% off, automatic discount on the Top Row Racing Media store. So definitely take advantage. If you're looking for some Top Row gear, stickers, name it, it's on there. So again, it is now showtime, Buju. And how are we doing on this Monday afternoon, evening?
Pretty good. A little swampy outside today, but other than that, pretty good. A very good race weekend. I know I had fun this weekend.
Yeah, well, you got to be an announcer again, and so you got to do that. And so what did you think? That was now your second time on the
I think much smoother overall this time. Less voice cracks. That's good. That obviously still some stuff to work on. Still getting better at it. But I was didn't really get nervous this time. And I thought I went much smoother overall. So.
All right. Well, I think because I touched my laptop, we were lagging just for a little bit. That's my fault. I touched it. So, anyways, I'm just gonna stay in one spot.
I gotcha.
About that. Like I said, the last time I sat outside and did a video anything was during COVID. So that, that's when all schools were shut down. And so we were doing learning at home. And I'm like, well, it's nice outside. Let's go sit outside and do it. So it's 2020, that's a long time. Anyways, but that's where, again, I thought you did a fantastic job on the mic. And that's something that even you're beginning, when you started going, because sometimes, I record the national anthem, but with copyrights and all that, sometimes it's hard to post the national anthems unless you have like a singer. And even sometimes singers get dinged. And I'm like, it's a singer. Like Leslie at Kalamazoo has been dinged as copyright. And I'm like, it's her. Like, this is original audio. But Facebook is really tricky on some things. And so, so I recorded, and then sometimes I'll, hit pause, and then you kept going. So I'm like, okay, I better keep recording because he has something that he's ready to go, like a declaration. So that's why I kept going. And then I know you're going to use that for notes and all that. So, so again, I thought you did a fantastic job. I thought you did a nice little setting, and it made me think of like we needed golf music, and so it's, like when you think of the Masters, hello, friends, it's kind of one of those that I kept thinking like, man, you just need soft golf music playing as that's coming on, and I need to find more big fluffy clouds and all the other things. So, but no, again, you did an incredible job. And so that's where
Thank you.
I'm excited for today because, again, we have Chris and Tracy, who I'm bringing on about a minute here, that are going to go over some things that they're going to be doing So again, I'll just warn everyone, I'm sitting outside, and with storms in the area, if I start lagging, someone's going to go full screen because I'm going to run inside to make sure we don't lose the stream, because that would be crappy. But just as a reminder, if you're on the new Paris Speedway Facebook page, like I see Ralph Reese, that's where he's commenting from. It'll show a link, Buju, and
I got you.
you're commenting from New Paris. We're live on the New Paris page because this is a program that's going to be at New Paris that Chris and Tracy are going to be talking about. So we felt, let's hit two birds with one stone. And then if you're watching on the New Paris page, when Chris and Tracy log off, the New Paris page will log off with them. So about 7:35, if you're watching on their page and you're interested in the show and want to hear from Wiktor and Friends about what they're doing this coming up weekend, definitely hop on over to Top Row Racing Media's Facebook page to continue watching the show with them. But other than that, Buju, if you're ready, we can bring them on. Let's see. It was a pleasure meeting Chris for the first time. New Paris has great staff. Again, that's where, while we're on the New Paris page, I guess I can say this too, and Chris and Tracy can fire me afterwards if they want to. But and I'm not going to bring them on because they don't give themselves enough kudos and credit. But Buju, you've been there a couple times now, and you've gotten to see it. There's a couple drivers who are coming, and they've gotten to see it. It's not like the days in the past, right? And so that's where, no matter what track it is, no matter where it is, all tracks are having different struggles and different things. Car counts are not in the hundreds, at anywhere, not even at Kalamazoo. 80, is good, but it's not 100. Back in my day, we had 110 cars, and you had to park.
We went till 4 a.m.
Right. Yeah, it's just not going to happen anymore, people. And if you're going to come on my page and track bash, remember, you're voluntarily doing that, which means
same with mine.
Yep, I'm going to voluntarily give you maybe not Wendy's roast, because Wendy's social media is really good, but I'm going to give you a little fair shot. And if you want to continue engaging, I, as the owner of the page, have the absolute right to go block, and I will do that. I have no issue. I have 43,000 some odd people. Missing one person is not going to hurt me any one bit. So, and I don't say that to be an ass or anything. And I don't curse too often, but it's just I'm done with it. I'm not going to do it anymore. And that's why I'm on the New Paris page dropping, words and everything. So I'll let them fire me if they want, but I'm just done with it. It's get over it. It's 2026. It's just like the half mile. Hartford's not coming back. Stop talking about it. So, like it's just not happening. It's already buried. It's done. It's over with.
Yeah.
You have to get a shovel digger to find it. So stop.
Yep.
If you have constructive criticism, go for it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I want discourse. I want conversation. But if you're just going to bash, not doing it. So, and
I also don't want to see your criticism if you haven't been there for 15 years either.
Absolutely.
If you're forming your opinion on a clip on Facebook, that's on you, brother. Get out to the racetrack and figure it out for yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm just kind of down with it, right? And it's
100% with you.
And that's where, I tell you sometimes, Booze, you enjoy being small right now. And I don't mean that, I don't mean that as an the bigger you get, the more you attract, the more, right? And so because I'm not a government page, I can block people. If I were a politician, you're not allowed to. By law, you're not allowed to block people. You have to leave their comments and all that, unless it's like threats or bullying. But
right.
I'm not running for politics anytime soon. I don't think you are. So so we can do that. We can block people and they can't do a damn thing about it. So anyways, that's my little soapbox rant for the day, because I'm just done with it. But let's go on a positive note, because I'm so excited for what Chris and Tracy are going to be doing. And that's why, again, when Chris was talking about, hey, there's no better platform than your platform to announce this. And I said, well, what if we did it on both my page and the New Paris Speedway page? So again, that's why we're live there. This isn't an every Monday thing. Don't mind the pouring rain, by the way. But let's bring on Chris and Tracy, and I'll do full screen so we can see them first. I know I'm a little bit above the banner, but that's okay. I'll adjust. And you can see the rain behind me. But how are you guys doing tonight?
Real good.
Yeah, Chris says you're going to be rode up now.
Hey, I'll go.
But I have a little ditty for you on that one, since I was on Capitol Hill last week in D.C. And this actually came up. And keyboard warriors, and the study is now in. They are sociopaths. So I'm just going to put on it. We now know who you are. We now know your problem. 9% of the U.S. population, those keyboard warriors, are true sociopaths. So there you go.
So, we're going to tell them to seek help from now on.
And that's you need some help. So.
Oh yeah, and it's just everyone's trying, right? And that's where It's just one of those things that, we are where we are with where we are doing things, and it's going to take all of us. Jay Fleet one time told me in 2023, the one time that I was at South Bend that year, he had said, I thanked him again for all of his support and help, because there's a lot of things that he's supported and helped me with. And I said, or he had said, well, we're all in this together alone. And I've kind of converted that into individually, we have to do our parts for the collective whole. That we're all in this together. If we all love short track racing, we're all passionate, we can be angry, we can be frustrated, we can be these things. Like, that's life. You're not going to get rid of those emotions, but it's how you manage them. It's how you control them. It's how you use them. And as I always tell people, and I did this in the classroom, I always came with solutions. If I had a problem or whatever, my principal, the janitor, whomever, they knew I was coming to them. Here's what I have. Here's a solution that I think I can come up with in the time being. What do you think about that? And if it was crap, they would tell me that, and they'd say, what about this? But it's because I was willing to come with a solution, not just, here's my problem, now you fix it. We all got to help each other.
That's what I always said. We'll always listen. If you have a problem, great. I'm here for you. What's your solution? So let's sit down and talk about what angle you're coming at. You can see what angle we're coming at. Work at it together. It's the only way you make it better. But come with a solution.
Yeah, and it may not work, right? And you'll have the reasons, and you guys have been in the ownership now a while, where like, there are things that work, there are things that haven't worked, or there are things that they might work for Galesburg, but they don't work for New Paris, or they might work for New Paris, but they're not going to work for Indianapolis Speedrome, right? Like, everything.
We've had some good ideas come at us and some good things that we've implemented. So
yeah, well,
one of them I think we're going to talk about a little bit tonight, and then we added to it. So.
Oh yeah, well, go ahead, Chris.
That's the thing too. It's you got to step in the baseball reference here. You got to step in the batter's box, and you're not going to get hit. You're not going to hit a home run every time. But if you continue to try and implement and try different things, and this we've seen, with brainstorming on some new races for like the NOD side of things, at the moment, sometimes it seems like the greatest thing ever. And then when you put it live, during an event, it's like, okay, we're not going to do it.
I had one of those.
There was one that
the
had
8-ball one that I came up with a couple years ago. That was scary.
Yeah, there was something that had to do with going two different directions. Figure 8, and boy, over in 3 and 4, I got a little scary at the times, and we're like, we're never doing this again.
I think the fans loved it, but we went, ow.
Yeah, well,
it was great on paper.
Right, insurance is watching that, right? We know insurance watches all these track pages and everything. And
I was thinking that. I was like, oh no, that's not good.
Sorry, I shifted a little bit because I'm getting rained on right now. So I'm like, I'm in a cover, and it's raining sideways, of course, going in the direction I'm sitting, not any other direction. But and that's where, again, you guys have been so creative with a lot of different things too. So do you want to talk a little bit about some programs that you guys, before we get to what you want to do, because I do regret that I'm going to run upstairs while we're talking, so I'm going to put you guys full screen. So if you give me like a minute of talking for me to get upstairs.
All right. Well, I actually before we get started on the latest brainstorm that kind of had a bit of a trial run last Saturday night, but and that's what we'll be announcing tonight. And we're pretty excited about it. This was Tracy's idea, so she can explain the details for the most part. But before we get into that, I do want to express, from all of us at the New Paris Speedway, the entire family, Lewis, we appreciate all that you do for short track racing, and it's clearly obvious that you're definitely not in it to fund your retirement. That's for sure. But also we owe we're extremely blessed with the men behind the mic, and Jeremy, you just can't say enough about him, and you know, whether it's regular racing or Nights of Destruction,
he's really coming to his own.
he has really come into his own. You know, we've had to tone him back a few times here and there, but that hasn't been for a while. But Buju, you know, we definitely want you to, when you get a chance, you don't have to do it now, pat yourself on the back, because just even the first night, which I thought was exceptionally good, you know, last Saturday you really fine-tuned your program, and like you said, it went smoother. I'm sure you were more comfortable at it, but you know, just you know, a quick capsule comment here is we feel extremely blessed for the two gentlemen that we have behind the mic here at New Paris Speedway.
I've had so many people go, "Who's announcing tonight? This guy's good. Who is this guy?"
he's our mystery man. Leave him alone.
Who's you?
Yeah, I get that. But I do really appreciate it, guys, and you guys do make it easy. It's you have a very welcoming environment to step into, and that makes it easy for somebody who didn't know anybody on the staff going into it. So yeah, you guys make me comfortable. That makes it easy, but I do very much appreciate it. Very much.
Just remember, what goes on in the tower stays in the tower.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, we do tend to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, it's a good time up there for sure.
But that's why we were talking like at the beginning, because obviously I'm sure you guys saw some of the comments too, and it's like, you know, I'm just not doing it, right? Like, we're just not going to do it anymore. And if it's constructive, you know what, I'll allow it, because, you know, while I may not agree with what they say, it's constructive, and there are fans on there who put really awesome, great ideas, right? And it's like, you know what, someone might see that and maybe go with it. But it's like, you know, this year, right? I mean, with not many fans in the stands on many nights, like this past Saturday, right? It's super hot out for a lot of people with the rain. Kenny Wallace.
We haven't had good weather yet. I don't know about the rest of the racetracks if you're listening, but it's been a rough spring coming through. Yeah. I mean, a lot of cancellations, you know, started out in Michigan and then get down to Indiana and then all over. It's been a little cold, a little rainy, a lot rainy.
We haven't found the utopian race night yet this year. But we have been fortunate. We have not had to have a weather cancellation this year, so
sticking it out. But I don't know if that's good or bad.
I hope we're not going to jinx ourselves with my comment. But,
please don't.
Well, you guys have been pretty lucky though the last couple years, where, you know, by the time Saturday rolls around, it seems like it's out of its system. It's
in the morning, and we can still get it in, or hurry up, guys, we got to get done by 10 o'clock because it's going to storm. You know, we had one of those too. So, you know, and thanks to the racers and understanding that and being ready and rolling with the program, and, you know, to keep it going to get it in. Because I remember leaving, and it wasn't 5 minutes after the last race, checker flag dropped. Boom, there came the rain. I'm like, oh, we got it in.
Last year when he won the trifecta championship, it rained on his parade. So, like, literally.
That's right. He had to do his interview in his trailer, didn't he?
No, they still did the interview out front because I was still recording.
He had to do his pictures. In the
trailer. Oh yeah, pictures there, but it's like literally if we would have had one more caution, and there wasn't that many that night. I mean, it's a fairly clean program, but if we had a caution or some kind of big cleanup, we would have been in trouble. That race probably would not have finished. And you had already overcome a brief rain shower because you pulled the street into the infield. So, but I mean, you guys got it in, and that's, again, you know, when you see fans talk about, I wish they would give it a shot. And, you know, back in my day in 1942, they put tires on the back of horses and ran them around. And you guys do that. I mean, you'll sit there and you'll drive your trucks around in circles and everything, and you do give it a shot. And so then, you know, there just gets to a point, though, where literally the track is not going to get dry, you know, and luckily it was so hot on Saturday. Had you been in one of those bursts of rain showers, it probably would have dried up fairly quickly. But, you know, a few weeks ago when it's 40 degrees and all these other things, it's just not going to do it, right? So...
Well, we got Big Orange can come out too.
yeah, I called it Big Red because from the top it literally looked red. But
I was going to ask you if you're colorblind, but
oh no, from up top and in the camera it looked red, so that's what I went with. But I'll change it next time. Like I said, I'll call it Carrot Top next time. So you know, and because if it's orange, it might as well be Carrot Top. If it's nothing else, then I don't know. I might protest that. But
oh gosh,
but But again, I know before we get into the fan program, if you guys want to talk a little bit about some of your big shows that are coming up, just to kind of, since we are live on the new Paris Facebook page, it's, as Mankind would say in the old WWE days, cheap pop time. If you want to give yourselves a cheap pop, you have obviously a Night of Destruction coming up July 3rd with fireworks.
Yep.
That's your biggest. Oh, go ahead.
We have regular racing for the next couple of weeks, and then we go into July 3rd, Night of Destruction. Ours is always July 3rd, unless it's going to hit a Sunday or something, but we always stick with July 3rd. It's always nice for the schedule. It helps other tracks, too, to kind of schedule around with the holidays being in there. And then the end of July, we have our kids' night with pack backpacks that we always do. We're adding some other things with that this year, as I'm thinking as a mom, what else do you need going back to school? And we're adding some other things, and they're not just backpacks and supplies this year. That we always try to do bike races and things like that, but we're also doing some other giveaways that night.
I think we got a truckload of Uncrustables coming.
Oh, okay.
No worries getting those since I ordered. No.
Yeah, half of them. I'm keeping half of them. I may negotiate. I may negotiate dog slinger trades.
Oh, there you go. Hey, but I told them that you loved that. I said they loved it. So
yeah, and then after that, we follow up that one with the Sizzler, the 25th Sizzler this year, which is Reveal the Hammer again. And then after that's our Flagger Boy Twin 50s, the week to follow that. And yep, thumbs up on those. So 2 big nights back to back, 2 big weekends there. Trifectas also fall in with those. So depending on which class that you're in, which one of those trifectas that you'll be in, and then follow that up with an NOD, and then championship, another Night of Destruction, the trifecta, championships, and then our last trunk or treat NOD. So that's kind of our rolling schedule through the year, and pop in regular racing in between those.
So also that's a little further down the road with our calendar, but coming up this weekend we do have 4-class racing, which could be called, weekly racing, whatever you want to call it. But we've got 4-class racing coming up this weekend, but we are also fortunate to have the Michiana Vintage Racers coming in.
Yeah.
So, and that is headed up by Mr. Pat York. So, people really enjoy seeing those old timers and those old cars out there. And we enjoy it too. I mean, there was some creative stuff back in the day, and, these guys come out, they make themselves extremely available up top in the parking area. We leave an area for them where you don't have to have a pit pass to go look at their cars or sit down and talk with them or so forth. And then in July, we have VROA mods are coming back.
Yep.
And I believe the date on that is the 12th, if I'm not mistaken. But glad to welcome that group back with I always mispronounce Mike's last name, but Mike O. Let's just call him Mike O. It's like Jeremy trying to pronounce Van Blaricom. Poor Cecil, if you're listening, we'll get him fixed.
Well, and then one thing that we forgot, you have that, unless I think.
Enduro 180.
Oh, the Survivor.
You knew exactly where I was going with that.
Yeah.
That we talked a little bit about that at Lane Automotive at the beginning of the year when they had that showroom, showcase sort of deal. So do you guys, again, we're live on your page, so this is like a double dip, right? Do you want to talk a little bit about what that Survivor Enduro is? That way people can, if they're Night of Destruction people, they can build a car. If they're racing people, they can build a car. They can know what to do or what that looks like.
Yeah, that car fits into a Hornet rule situation as well as it fits into an NOD rule situation. So either one of those, it's more of a, gut and go car. You come out, it's a 3-team person event where each driver has to drive and log at least 30 minutes in the car. We keep track of that in the pits, and we have people that do that. So it's 180 minutes. That's your 180. It's 3 hours. Last year we went 365 laps. So that's a lot of, that was some laps put down.
Kidney bean, right? Or whatever
we ran it in a wrench it up style.
Yep,
we ran it and wrenched it up. So you can forget setting up one way or another way because you're going every way, which is really fun. And, first how's this going to be? But I personally loved it because we didn't realize again, you come up with these ideas and you play it out, and then wow, it changed, or I didn't think about that. It took me back to the old NASCAR days, before these competition caution, where you had to figure out what your fuel was. We had to figure out your tires. We had people that were like, oh, we could see the sparks fly, and there goes the cords on their tires, or they're gonna have to change tires. People weren't thinking about that. They were borrowing gasoline from a racing fuel, whatever gas they would have been using from other pits, and going,
Yeah.
I didn't realize I had to bring more fuel. So it brought that old style back in, which I loved. So it was fun, and it came down to a couple of teams out there that were the last 10 laps. We were all in the tower going, who's going to get this one? We're looking at the times, that they were putting down, going, okay, if we had 5 more laps, this one's will they get there and overtake at the same time? Are they losing their tires or not? And how much fuel do they have? So it was actually fun. Yeah.
Not to interrupt, but I want to talk more about that enduro. So put a small pin, just because Benny Miller, who's from the Springport, he's at Springport Speedway, which obviously is still closed this year until Michigan Cup. But this might be something that you got. I'm not going to tell you to do it. I'll let you decide. Not, obviously off air, but they run the Motorhead Miller 1000, and so that's for like a B feature winner would get like $1,000, and C feature Benny, certainly contact Chris and Tracy. But it's been such a huge hit at Corrigan Oil Speedway, where they've been doing it the last couple of years, and it was first at Springport, and it was a huge hit. So it gives the guys who usually, because usually at a lot of tracks, A features, they're getting pretty good money. And so this is for the B feature, and sometimes I think they did the C feature too, if there's enough for a C feature. But if I know you guys have the trifecta, obviously for the big cars, but if you're looking to sprinkle something in there for your Hornets, and you have such a dedicated group in the 4 cylinders, Benny Miller, they do ABC up there, which you guys are pretty much ABC now. You just don't call it that, but you literally have A feature, which is your 4 cylinder, B feature would be your Hornet A, and then C feature would be your Hornet B. So I mean, it's like the same thing. That maybe Benny Miller, you guys can touch base, because I can vouch for him. He's a credible guy. He'll have the money. He'll have all this. It won't be a show up and, hey, can I borrow some dollars from you? They do a lot for front wheel drive racing, and if he's willing to bring it to Indiana, and you guys are willing to work with him on that, I can vouch for him. He's a good guy, and they'll bring
Benny,
cars.
Yeah, Benny, if you're still listening, certainly reach out to us through, you can email us, or you can reach out through Messenger. We're certainly open to listening and talking about it, and maybe something like that will work out.
Yeah, I can vouch for him. So that's where, and they'll bring. I mean, they've talked about coming down a couple times, because I obviously brag about New Paris up there. And I mean, just in their stable alone, they have 6 cars that they can bring. And if they bring their 6, someone else will bring their 4, and before you know it, you have an A feature right there. So so they do an incredible job with that Motorhead Miller. I know they're going to be working with Tri-State Sprints this year. I don't know, if maybe because Auto City's still closed with the fire they had, so they probably lost that race. And that kind of deal. So I didn't want to interrupt your thought, Tracy, but I'm like, wait, this is important. This. It'd give your front wheel drive racers, a show for themselves too. Since I know you guys don't do the 4 cylinder classic or whatever you guys used to call that. I forget what it's called.
Any Sizzler?
Oh yeah. I couldn't remember what you called it, but they bring the money too. So I can promise you won't have to dig into your bank account. He'll have it in his. So anyways, again, right, and that always helps, right? If someone brings the money, it's like, hey, you know what, we could talk, we could talk presidents here. But again, for the Survivor Enduro, I know we have some Galesburg people who are on here watching, Galesburg drivers who Zach Denton's one of them, sometimes races at M40. It's like, hey, bring cars, bring teams. Again, it's a 3-hour event. Each driver has to log at least 30 minutes within that 180 minutes. So if you get a team together, come on down to New Paris. I'll post the date. Or Boujou, do you have My Race Pass near you, or do one of you have My Race Pass?
I can pull it up.
Yep. Just to look really quick so we can get that date out.
12th?
Yeah, three of us are pulling it up.
Yeah, it's July.
Who's faster, Boujou?
Who's younger? Who's more tech savvy? You should have it right off the top of my head.
Well, and I can tell you, and being open and honest, when the day came, first Survivor 180, we were like, okay, this will be the first year. You know, we weren't expecting a lot of teams. And quite honestly, you know,
July 18th.
I thought
There we go. I had it, but I didn't want to know
Give it to the old
Chris.
one.
I thought 3 hours. This is going to be like some sort of snooze fest, but from my perspective, and this can carry over to the fans' perspective, it was pretty much an edge of your seat kind of deal, especially once the strategy started playing in.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you as a Hornet driver, that sounds cool, very cool to me. That's something we've always wanted to do with some kind of team thing. So that's something we'd be interested in for one. And I as a fan, I mean, I don't want to trash enduros, but enduros are a little boring to watch as a fan. The twist on it makes it a little more fun. So yeah, I like this idea.
Yeah. So again, go ahead.
Public service announcement for. I'm looking at my phone and seeing a bunch of messages to Speedway popping up. Once we're done here, we will get to those. So be patient for a few minutes, please.
Oh yeah, and that's again, we're live on the new Paris page, because what we're talking about, and we can go there next, is that, you know, we thought let's hit two birds with one stone, not only get it live on Top Row, but then get it live over on New Paris. So if you are watching on New Paris Speedway, and you want to continue watching the show, just know when Chris and Tracy log off here in about 10 minutes, the show will go with it. So come over to Top Row Racing Media, or come over shortly before about 7:40, because we do have Wiktor and Jeremy Templeton. They're all in the staging area right now. I see them getting set up and all that, and Phillip's with them. So definitely, you know, make sure to switch over if you want to hear from them. But if we want to talk about what you want to do, because we've talked about your schedule, what's coming up, we've talked about some big things that are happening, some of the things you've done in the past. Kudos to everybody. You know, now it's what can fans start to look forward to as part of your Saturday show, you know, 4-class showdown?
Well, I'll go ahead and introduce the title of it, and then since it was Tracy's brainstorm, then we'll let her explain the details. But like I said, we kind of did a soft opening quietly last week. Quietly last week of a program we're going to start during all race nights, and that's going to be the showcase class of the week. Really excited about this. Those that we had some great participation last week from the street stock class. We had fans that were extremely excited for that to happen, and even a couple of our drivers, I believe, dug into the gallows of their trailers and pulled out some hero cards and signed some autographs. So I'll let Tracy explain the program to you, and for 2 seconds here, I'll shut my mouth.
I love that. I haven't seen this yet. This is great. WWE. Actually, so last year I wanted to implement this. Steven, our race director, likes to do out of car introductions, which we had done early on, I think, when we
a couple years ago
first on the track, and then, you know, he get busy and kind of do away and just, you know, dropped, and then he brought it back, and I love that, because the fan interaction with that, getting the next generation involved in seeing that driver, right? They don't get to know what they look like, or when they're inside of a vehicle, when it's going around the track, you can't really see who that driver is. You may know the name, but what do they look like? So when you see them out and about, do you really know who they are?
Do you know what Richie Bull looks like?
Exactly. You know, so
sorry, Rich.
Last year I went, okay, so I want to take that class every week and bring them up. You know, let's, in the intermission in between, you know, heats and features, we're going to bring them up then also, so they get out of car introductions. Then we bring them up, you know, and announcers interview them. The fans can talk to them, ask them questions, interact, get their autographs, you know, get the fans more into what's going on, knowing drivers and rooting for the drivers. I know when I was growing up, I had my NASCAR driver, didn't y'all? You know, it was like,
absolutely.
Oh, you were always rooting for them, right? You had the t-shirts, you had their numbers in the back of your vehicle. You know, you go to school or go to work and go, oh, did you see that race this weekend? And your driver was crud. He took mine out, or look at that. That was great. You know, and trying to get more of that interaction going on. It's fun when you do that, I think. So we're going to bring them up. We have a pavilion we can use. It's great, right? So as long as that's not in use, if not, we'll have our picnic tables out there, and we'll bring them up there and let everybody meet and greet them.
And it's gonna be a work in progress. And Lewis, you and I talked on the phone last night that you know, it's as with anything, it's a work in progress, and you learn, from your first few times of implementing a program like this, little bit of tweaks and stuff. So, the third class of the night will be your showcase class. So whoever's third in line to run this week coming up, it's going to be the Hornets.
So the audience will know, or
So
fans are
all
going to
you
know
Hornet
ahead of time.
drivers out there, if
Yep.
you got hero cards, bring them. If not, we've got we'll have some permanent markers for drivers to sign some things for folks, whether they go get a flag at the
bring their own, do whatever they're
bring their own, get a flag at the souvenir stand, get a t-shirt at the souvenir stand, or they brought their own. But so the third class of the week, which will give that class plenty of time during intermission after their heat races to participate in this, enjoy it as much as the fans are, and they're not going to feel crunched for time to oh
Get
gosh,
back.
I got to get back and get working on my car. Or
and that's and thank you to the street stock guys and gals this past weekend, because it got thrown in your lap. So I was in the office before we started hot laps with Steven and Jeremiah, and talking about this, and went, look, I wanted to implement this all last year and it never got done. Okay, we'll do it next week. I'm like, let's just do it tonight. Let's just throw it out there. So we grabbed the schedule on my desk in the office and went, okay, which one fits in where? And it just happened to be that they were that one that night. And thanks to all of them that came out up there and supported and talked, and Boujou for interviewing, and DeFreeze and the Bulls talked. I know the Hambone was up there, and Anna's
I think we got everybody. I know for my part of it, I was in the tower, and Chris just goes, "Hey, Steve, tell Boujou about the new thing we're doing this week." So
Chris didn't even know it first.
What we were doing.
I'll show it one more
time.
time.
We're doing this
again as you guys are talking, because I see like Anthony Duell, who's a Kalamazoo racer, Galesburg racer. He came down for trifecta races and all that. He's on here, so. Again, we have quite an audience, not only your New Paris page, but even, people, drivers and fans watching from Kalamazoo, Galesburg, all that. We're not, and by the way, we're not on here to steal drivers, by the way. We're just promoting, a showcase class of the week. So if you come down on a week and you want to participate and, you're not racing at another track, come and enjoy this. Again, this is something that Chris and Tracy, I know Tracy, you wanted to do it the week before, but Chris said, well, maybe next week. And I saw your look, and I'm like, it's going to happen sooner.
It's always next week.
And but again, I know some drivers already had their autographed cards already. So this is a perfect time to reach out to your photographers. And give them time. Like we don't, the photographers can't just produce overnight. And I know with AI and all these things, it's very tempting to produce overnight, but reach out to whomever that you use for, hero cards. I know My Race Pass, you can order driver swag like hero cards from My Race Pass. So again, that showcase class of the week, whatever the third feature is of that week, for their 4-class showdown, you will be that showcase class of the week. That means your feature will be juiced up with some extra fun. That means you'll get to go out and meet with the fans. You'll get to meet the drivers. And this isn't WWE where they're charging you $15,000 to talk to Cody Rhodes for 1 minute. This is already part of your $15 ticket that you paid at the front to park on the property. So you get to come in. They'll announce them plenty ahead of time where drivers will be. Go meet the drivers. Again, that's one thing that I've told Drew Jack this many times, and I've said it to others. I used to be the dumb race fan and thought this and thought that, and thought different things of drivers. And one thing that I've been able to do on the media side is being in the pits and seeing drivers as they are and who they are and go, wow, I actually like you. And, you get to know them. So, if, you might have someone who you boo all the time, but you get to know them. That doesn't mean you still can't boo them because, bingo board purposes, but you might get to see like they're actually a person behind the helmet and behind the car, working and racing, just trying to keep a sport alive. And you might gain some respect for them, even if you can still dislike them as a driver, but at least that respect factor, you go, you know what? I can tolerate you, but I'm not still going to support you, right? Like boom on the track, but shake their hands in the pit because, again, they're helping to keep this track alive. So it's not additional cost. It's a meet and greet at intermission, which is usually 15, 20 minutes at New Paris, plenty of time. I even think it was 20 minutes this last week, plenty of time to get there. to see the drivers. You know, if you have a t-shirt, go to Walmart, buy a white t-shirt and bring it to the track, and drivers will have markers. I know I talked with Chris yesterday about getting checkered flags and all that ready and having drivers sign that. Plenty of white spaces on there on a checkered flag. They'll do out-of-car introductions, so you'll see them on the front stretch where they'll pull up, they'll, you know, park the cars, they'll get out of their car, and then I know Buju did it, I know Jeremy will do it, where they'll find somebody to also help start those engines. So again, it's a specialty moment for each and every class, whether you're the A feature or the B feature. You'll have your moment to shine and get just a little extra, you know, at the new Paris. So again, I'm really excited for that, and just to see where it goes. And certainly, you know, as you said, Chris, you and I talked about this yesterday. One of the things that I always love about the writing process is letting people know the rough draft is supposed to be shitty. You know, so it's, yeah, it is, all right.
That's two write-ups.
That's 2 write-ups.
You know, but you know, Buju, this actually might be the most I've cursed on this show ever. But
I think so.
15 episodes in, but I got fired up at the beginning. But anyways, and
we're glad we can be part of that.
We bring out the best.
I was about to say.
But that's where I'm excited for this and for you guys to do this and to see. So, you know, this is one way fans that you don't have to wait just for an autograph night, which happens once or twice a year if it doesn't rain, right? This is your chance. And I even talked about, you know, with Chris, like, ooh, you know, since the street stocks were kind of like, hey, let's try this. You're a guinea pig for a moment. You know, there's plenty of races in the schedule to bring it back and rotate through again. So if you miss this night, maybe you can get it next night. I talked about having graphics ready to go that I'll be working on. If you feel free to use them, if not, don't. But like, this is a showcase class of the week, so you know, come on out, and you know, you get a chance to meet all the drivers this way, and you don't have to. I mean, it'd be nice if you bought a pit pass, but if you don't or you can't afford to, this is where drivers are going to be coming to you. So you know, definitely take advantage of it and come on out and also just see the racing. It's been really awesome this year. I mean, the races have been tight. You know, the battles have been fierce, but most cars are getting put on the trailer at the end of the night in one piece. So you're going to be entertained. And I don't want to hear that it doesn't go until 4 a.m. in the morning, because that's just not reality anymore. You know,
don't jinx us. But yeah, we've a shout out to all the participants this year so far. We've had some relatively clean racing. The show overall seems to click and move along. You know, we're trying to avoid that dead air stuff, you know, and we get the comments on Facebook, and this is one thing that really gets the hair on the back of my neck up, is when somebody starts messaging the Speedway or commenting on Facebook about how long it took to clean up, you know, an accident or a mess. Bottom line is, these people work really hard for their money, and they have a lot of money in their cars.
Yeah.
And our safety crew does their best to do the best cleanup possible to make sure it's safe. And in fact, when we finish the cleanups, we get the cars rolling around the track again, and Steven up in the tower and Jeremiah asks the driver, thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you like the track? Do you not like the track? If they don't like the track, safety goes right back to work cleaning.
We aren't cutting that short for you. Sorry, people. That's safety first. We're keeping that race surface raceable.
Well, and I won't say what track, but there's a track that has NASCAR level equipment that takes way longer than your crew that doesn't have that equipment to clean up simple things. So again, if people, I have footage. So if people, and it's not Kalamazoo, obviously, because they have great equipment, but even they sometimes have things that just takes a little bit to clean up. You know, it's a mess. And
a lot of times you don't understand or see what's out there, you know,
right.
that you're seeing, that the safety crew's seeing. So just, you know, bear with that and understand that, you know, we want to make sure that, you know, everybody's safe first off, and it's a good show. So we're doing, you know, what we're doing for those reasons. So,
well, you know, just like the other night, you know, going a little bit above and beyond and getting big orange carrot top out, you know, to get the streak of mud off, you know, coming out of 4 and down the front stretch. You know, it was just, I could see from my vantage point, because I actually took the time. I went up in the pit grandstands and was up there on the wall watching when this happened, and I could see what safety was going through just between 3 and 4 to get you know, get their stuff clean up in that area. And I'm like, hey, you guys want the tractor? I can make this real quick, you know, over in that area and take care of it. And you know, just trying to go a little bit above and beyond, but with the ultimate thought in mind of of, we want a safe racetrack. So.
Well, and again, I saw the puddle before, and I was taking bets so that's partly my fault. I'll accept complete blame for this because
Now we know.
it was my fault. So that's strike 3, right? But I took bets. I said, what class do we think is going to find that puddle? Because it was like one of the only puddles, to be honest, around that.
Which was good. And we took a lot of rain on Friday night.
I mean,
a lot of rain. So to have one puddle was the drainage that we put in. And thank you for Raybird Dirt Works and helping out on that one a couple years ago. And redoing that infield and the drainage that went in on that. That's not bad.
But yeah, it was just something that it went quick and easy, and I've received several invites from a street stock driver. I won't name him or his daughter.
His car, yeah.
Inviting me to come to Plymouth and wash their mud off their car. But there was even a little Facebook banter on there.
Yeah,
between the two of us about, there's a lot of pavement up there. What are you doing down in the mud anyway?
Yeah.
But, it was
provide you a paved track now.
It was all in good fun.
So all in good fun. I do want to remind, because I know it's 7:45, so I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. Because I also know you have messages, but I do want to remind everyone one more time. The big news out of New Paris and all in good fun that you can have starting this Saturday at the New Paris Speedway for their 4-class showdown. Again, their showcase class of the week will be the Hornet A feature, if I remember right, because then next week will probably be the B feature.
They'll
put them all together.
It'll be A and B.
Put them all together.
Baby Jesus. There you go. All right. So you'll have about 25 drivers, that you get to go meet and greet, maybe even more. Because the Hornet class, they're really strong. They do have a really strong Hornet group, which is not unusual for Northwest Indiana. But showcase class of the week, so you'll get to meet the Hornets. So it's no additional cost. Again, part of your ticket. Just show up at intermission. Buju, he's announcing this week. He'll say the meet and greet is coming up shortly after this heat race. You'll see the Hornets will start to come up. They'll swarm to the front, and you'll have a meet and greet at intermission. It'll be about 15-20 minutes. They'll sign autographs. Bring a white T-shirt, bring whatever. If you have sports memorabilia from the New Paris Speedway, whatever it may be, or go to the souvenir stand and spend some hard-earned human monies over there, or Danhausen might curse you. You can go and get that, and then they'll have out-of-car driver introductions for their features on the front stretch, and then Buju will find somebody lucky enough in the stands to be able to announce the most famous words in motorsports of "Start your engine." So. Again, take advantage of that. It's there to do a chance to see the drivers, the cars, and the stars of the New Paris Speedway. And so, again, Chris and Tracy, I definitely appreciate you taking time out of your evening not only to talk about that, but then obviously allowing us to double dip and get this out on your New Paris page so that everyone can see it there too. So if you've been watching on New Paris, this is kind of your warning. When Chris and Tracy sign off, the stream will sign off with them. So if you want to continue watching and seeing Wiktor and Friends, they're already sitting in the staging area ready to go. Wiktor might have his voice back. We'll find out in about 2 minutes here. He's shaking his head, so it's a little shaky. The Soviet spy may not sound so Soviet tonight, but
well,
hi guys.
you got those 3 gangsters up next, so we better exit before we take them off. And
yeah.
Oh, but no, I wanted to just say thank you guys again for all that you do. I know I won't be there this Saturday. It's my only 4-class showdown that I won't be at, but I appreciate you understanding. It's the Rodney Russell Memorial at Galesburg, and he was such a loving guy that, I hate missing New Paris, but I know for years that they've been asking me to come up and do this. And so it's like, it was time, it's like, man, but so I appreciate you understanding that, just to do that for the front wheel drives up there. I'll have about 60 of them. So maybe I could, maybe some can send down that way. I'll be like, hey, I could bring you 60 front wheel drives next time. I don't know where we'll park them at New Paris, but we'll find a way.
We have room for that.
But
Tom, thanks guys, as always. Appreciate it and everything you do.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything you do. And, no matter where you go or no matter where you watch, continue to support short track racing.
Absolutely. And again, Benny Miller, please do message Chris and Tracy. They are friends with me on Facebook by choice. They made that choice. So you can find them, Chris Mandel, Christopher Mandel on Facebook. So just go to my friends list and find them. If not, message the New Paris Facebook page, Benny, and maybe we can bring that Motorhead Miller Mafia $1,000 to win race down to New Paris, and you'll get front wheel drives that night. I promise you that. So your Hornets might go, where did all these other Hornets come from? So, but again,
good.
Thank you guys so much, and then we will see you next week. And all right. So again, if you're on New Paris, you have about 30 seconds to switch over to top row because I'm going to hide them in the staging area. And as they exit, it will bump the stream off on their page. So do feel free to come over to Top Row Racing Media. But right now we're going to have Wiktor and Friends joining us. So I know I'm bringing on Jeremy, Phillip, and Wiktor. I think we're all on. Can we see all each other? Yes, we can. Let's see. That
How do we look before I look from the camera? How do we look?
Well, there's Frank Gasco. I don't know about that.
I have a little bit of voice, not the greatest, so they will be. They have me in quarantine. I am in the race car right now.
I'm sitting here and I'm going, wait a minute, they're all in the same spot, but they're on two different screens. So okay, I know I back there. So oh, that's incredible. You all are just too entertaining, and you don't even realize how entertaining you are. But
We do as we can.
But so yeah, you have Frank back there, and that's why someone was asking, where's Frank Gasco? Well, we found him
Right there.
And then we have Jeremy, joining us, and then we have Phillip, who won. He's the undefeated racer for the team. And then we have Wiktor, who may sound some Soviet, may sound American tonight. He's been recovering from just nastiness, right? So how are you?
I don't even know what it was.
It just wasn't fun, though, was it? Though
No, it was not a good time.
So again, if you hear some American come out of him, he's not fully converting yet. He's just a little American, a little assimilating to the country. Because we assimilate in America. But anyway,
it is so close to July 4th. I thought maybe I could let it. It will be fine. It will be fine.
Well, but so again, if you guys want to talk a little bit about what you're doing, it didn't take New Paris off, so it's supposed to. Well, sorry, New Paris didn't. It's supposed to go with you. But anyways, go ahead, keep talking. I just realized that we're still on New Paris, but I'll owe them later because I thought that was supposed to take them with them. But if you want to talk a little bit about what you're doing this Saturday over at Hartford Speedway.
Well, we are attempting to take the Nod Mod on tour. I would say we are going to dominate the Hartford Night of Destruction, much as we dominated the New Paris Night of Destruction, and it will be Phil once again showing everyone what the Nod Mod is all about.
So, and you debuted this, Phillip, and team, but you debuted this at New Paris. So what was it like? Because obviously all of you, I mean, Wiktor, I know you're getting fresh into that scene and you've been around a little bit, but, the three sitting there with Last Minute Mafia, obviously they have a lot of laps over at New Paris, a lot of things they've done at New Paris. So for Phillip, you did your reveal there when you learned what, you're going to be having for a baby. Not you, your wife, but, do you want to talk a little bit about what it was like to bring the non-mod out to New Paris and debut it there?
Well, first off, we were late, per usual. But per lap didn't not yet. A few minutes here and there. It was just like showing up with anything else I've brought. It brought a lot more attention down to our pit stall. Everybody wanted to come look at it, and who knows? Maybe we're gonna have more wings come out of truck hoods and shell.
Yeah, because is that paint too? Or no, those are monsters. But anyways, how many monsters?
Yeah, no, these are. Yeah. Oh, hey, monster!
Yeah.
Oops. We spread your house for me.
I'm like, what's going on over there? But anyway,
I do not condone this.
Hey, they're getting free publicity on my. I should contact them. Monster, I need some money now. But anyways,
yes, we do. For $25,000, we'll put anybody on the link. Well, we can negotiate that price too.
Yeah.
It is prime real estate.
Well, do you want to talk a little bit about, because I know, for fans and drivers and everyone watching. Again, we're still live on the new Paris page. It was supposed to leave with Chris and Tracy, so I don't know what happened there. But hey, we're still live. And obviously, this is where you debuted at New Paris. And so anyone watching you guys, if they go to your page, Wiktor, you did like behind the scenes stuff with Jeremy, Frank and Phillip. Do you want to talk about like how you built? You don't have to give all the specifics so people don't steal your design, but do you want to talk a little bit about what went into, like, how the heck did you even come up with this? And then, from there.
So how did we come up with the overall design for the Nod mod?
Yeah.
We had to cover a sunroof.
Oh.
We had to cover a sunroof, and we had a little less than 17 hours to cover sunroof. And while we were doing that, we said, hey, you know what? Why don't we just take this hood, and not only will we cover the sunroof hole, but we will have downforce. And unfortunately, I told Jeremy, Phillip, and Frank this, and instead of taking it as joke, we put it on the roof of the car. And yeah, it worked.
Yeah, it definitely worked.
So as far as like thought process and planning, we didn't have any of that. We just had a hood and some steel and some time, and that's how we came up with it.
All right. So, and then why this like sprint looking wing? Like, why that specifically? With the sunroof covering, like, what made you go that route?
You noticed it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, the fact that it was effective with downforce was a surprisingly added benefit, but you noticed it, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and now it's kind of one of those things, like when you brought that out, right? I mean, I waited 40 minutes for y'all, but a very understandable reason, obviously, Phillip, because we talked about that. But I'm like, someone said they're coming, and I'm waiting, because I'm like, I got to see this when you first pull in, because again, it just stood out, right? And then I thought with the King of the Wings that we kind of came up with, for that, I thought that was pretty cool that, Aaron Hapner got in on that Jacob Kelly, which kind of started the war, got into that, and a couple others, right? So
well, yeah, Jake stole my wing off the back of my car, so we had to win him.
Well, and so when you're in there, Phillip, does the wing help at all?
Yes.
Anything? Yeah.
Yes. So, you can feel it. It sets the whole car down.
Oh, wow.
Now, whether that helps me drive it or not, I can tell you it doesn't, because until we started bending front end components, I couldn't drive it to save my life.
And then downforce also helped to bend the components, because when you go in the corner and just when the car sets, man, it was just maybe a little too much. Might have to adjust just a little bit here, but we're going to work on it. Stick to turning the steering wheel.
I don't think there's any science to that, but there could be.
I don't think there's any engineering degrees in that room, huh?
100% legal.
Not the harbor, I apologize.
But yes, you could definitely tell the difference with it.
So then, Frank, you didn't get to watch it race because you chose to be somewhere else, but obviously you have.
Hey. I also have other jobs, other places I would love to be, but now continue your question, sir.
I got to give you a hard time. It's always fun when you're around, but you've been a part of this journey too. You got in with Wiktor, right? We've kind of talked about this when we had you guys on a few weeks ago, where we talked about like you all finding each other. Jeremy had an incredible way of putting it. So what has it been like for you to kind of watch all this come together and watch this camaraderie come together? I mean, again, you guys are maybe not at the exact point of finishing each other's sentences yet, but you're finishing thoughts and you're having a lot of fun doing this. So Frank, for you, especially as a legend that you are, what has it been like to do something different, in this Night of Destruction world for someone who's done a lot?
Well, I would never consider myself a legend or anything like that. I would consider myself as somebody who is grateful enough to have people who helped me achieve some awesome trophies, some great memories, and these guys right here with me. Jeremy, my kids, New Paris Speedway. A lot of folks helped us do what we did. It was never about what Frank Galsto did. It was about what the people around Frank Galsto helped him to do. When I started this, I
take some credit, man. It's okay.
Sorry about that.
I agree with that.
I guess I can drive, but it goes back to like David Thunder. In the movie, Tom Cruise knew shit about cars. He knew nothing about how to drive or this or that. Well, he knew nothing about the vehicle, but he could drive. And it was my friends that helped me do what I did for so many years. And without the friends that I've had, the pit crews and Jerry Broom, Jeff Broom, Derek, Jeremy, there's been so many times that we've won races that we shouldn't have been able to win. And it was just a great time. So it's not the elephant in the room that I don't know how to word it. I guess we've kind of gotten out of it for the last couple of years. Just kind of life's gotten in the way. This and that. We met Wiktor. Wiktor has become a great friend to us and just a phenomenal guy. And I think that Wiktor has brought refreshing vibe to what we used to do. And I think sometimes you need that.
Absolutely.
We all take time off. We all take time for our family and all this and that, which you should. But sometimes, the passions that you used to have need reignited. And I think that Wiktor has helped us a lot with that. I'm not able to participate as much as everybody else here in this video. I wish I could, but I just can't. So I don't want to take credit away from these guys for what they've done for Mo's truck and all that, but I want to say I appreciate the fact that I've been included, and I want to say I appreciate the fact that we're fucking going racing at Hartford next weekend, man. And I've got something sitting out there this coming weekend. I've got something sitting out there that I'm super excited about, and we're going to take a couple of cars up there this weekend, and we're going to do some damage. Big shout out, Jason Seltzer, going to take over for me
this weekend at
Russell and Paris Speedway. I've not participated in night instruction for a long time. These guys are, hey Frank, you gotta do it. We've got something up as it runs, and Hartford's a little bit different than I'm used to. Get a little bit more speed, and maybe I might catch my first rollover out of it. I don't know.
Wait. Hey.
Stevie Smith, by the way.
Hold on.
This guy's a legend. He's hanging out over on the side here.
Frank, we said we had something. We didn't say it ran. Runs is a relative term. Just want to let you know that.
You know how it goes sometimes. Yeah. We don't want to put the cart before the horse, but we could turn over. We'll just put it there. But we can make it run. Looking forward to seeing Hartford Speedway this weekend. And to go back to your question, to see something like this come back together, to bring a lot of us friends back to like this, man, you couldn't ask for more, really. There's a lot of friends that have kind of ventured off and life gets in the way. And, me and Jerry, prime example, man, just his daughter just graduated high school, by the way. So big applause to her.
Yeah, good job on that.
Just graduated high school, and we kind of get lost in life sometimes, and we're ready to get back to it. I'd like to put a few more races under my belt before I say we're done. I'd love to do it with the group of friends that we have right now. So
I just started a race team. We can't be done.
Yeah. Looking forward to it, man. I can't wait.
Well, and that's again just for everyone to know. And I did remove New Paris from here because I would feel weird talking about Hartford and their event on Saturday on New Paris's page after we just promoted Saturday there. So I'm like, why didn't it leave with them? It was supposed to leave with them. So I removed it, but the post is still on New Paris. It's just not live. So if someone clicks in and then watches it, it won't be live, at least showing live. So so that's why I was kind of doing some texting and like, I'm trying to get this off and, you know, just for respect out of them. And then obviously respect for Hartford too. But for those who don't know, Hartford has their first of two. I think it's two this year. Night of Destructions.
No, I'm pretty sure it's 3.
Oh, 3. No, yeah, you're right. 3 Night of Destructions because they added the October one permanently. That one used to be a rain date, but they added that one. So the second one's usually during Super Shoe weekend at Kalamazoo. So I always miss 1 or 2 of them, but I always have time for October. So again, for those watching, Hartford has their Night of Destruction. It's one of the only tracks in the area in region that does a Night of Destruction on dirt. So it's pretty cool. And to see this car out there, I know I'm going to miss it. I'm going to be at Galesburg, but I definitely want to see photos and videos just to see what you guys are doing on the dirt there. Wiktor, obviously.
Can I say something again real quick?
Yeah.
Cut you off, but so in the coming year or so, my son's sitting here, you know, he just turned 15 years old, looking to get into the seat. It was brought up by Jeremy's daughter. She'd like to come in the seat. Yep. And my daughter, Atlanta, everybody knows Atlanta Gasco. She helps me all the time. She's always with the race cars, and she does this, does that, runs the chain on my trailer, I'm riding up cars with winch or things like that, whatever she can help with. So we are literally about to change generations for Night of Destruction, and for us dads, like that's insane. You know, all my daughter talks about is, hey, when's the next Night of Destruction? Is it New Paris? Like, she's stuck on New Paris. Like, she loves New Paris, and that's where she grew up at. And my son as well. And, you know, not take away from anybody else, just to us, New Paris is home. You know, and obviously I work at Paris Speedway. We've got a kick-ass Night of Reckoning as well. Kalamazoo, can't take nothing away from any of these tracks that do Night of Destruction, but looking forward to kind of putting some very fresh assets in the seats and seeing what they can do with their dads and their friends, uncles. You know, they're all uncles now, and making it happen. It's going to be fucking incredible. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, and again, that's why, you know, just with your resume, right, that you've been able to put out there, you know, for Night of Destructions, I mean, you are, whether you want to take the credit or not, you are a legend in this area. And legend doesn't mean your time's done. Legend just means you've earned the credibility, you've earned the fan appreciation, and you've put it out there. I mean, years and years and years of wear and tear and abuse on your body to put on a show for fans, that in itself makes you legend. So whether you want that title or not, you've earned it. You know, and that's something that, again, to have you and your experience, and obviously you've taken that to M40, where you're helping with their Day of Reckoning and helping them resurrect Night of Destructions there and building that. And by the way, Frank, I don't know if you saw Slinger Super Speedway, they posted your trailer event from last year. They're doing that. It's Smoking the Bandit is what they're calling it. So that's now
When are they doing it?
4 tracks that have stolen your trailer idea.
Hey, dude. Hey, let me tell you something. Imitation is the best form of flattery.
Yeah, I have some copycats.
And I have nothing less to say than, my God, I hope they do well with that, because what an awesome concept. You know, me and Johnny Rosa come with the Night Rider because we're all, you know, 80s TV show fans, between Dukes of Hazzard and Night Rider and all this and that. And if you're familiar with Night Rider, I'm sure a lot of the folks watching are. Kit used to drive up in the back of the truck to talk to the crew and like, what's our next mission, this and that. Kit would sit in the truck, and that was our goal for that was you have to drive up in the trailer, because the concept of that for a long time, many years was, oh, you can't do that without destroying your transmission. Once it hits them ramps, no, it could tear the shit out of it, but we don't have to pay for it. It's just all junker stuff. Man. So we had a lot of fun with that. That was really cool. And then also seeing Steve Evans jump up into the camper. That was something that we were not very keen on working, but we knew that we would have somebody there that was on the back of that trailer. And Steve Evans wound up being one. And just awesome, man. Just super cool.
Just to remind people what you're talking about, that's why there's some noise there for a moment.
Still terrifying.
I pulled that up again just so if someone has missed it, I'll back it up one more time. So as you're talking about that, right? So you took what you did last year with Knight Rider, and I know I'm blocking my own face with the graphic. It's okay. I don't think people like watching my face anyways. But we got Buju. He's the official announcer now. We just need to see him and you guys. They don't need to see me. But again, you took your Knight Rider and you put a camper in its place this time, and it was like, man, is someone going to get on there? Is someone going to do this? What's this going to look like? So,
so a point of view from this right here, obviously Wiktor was driving the truck that this phone is tagged here right now in the bed.
I think about this point right here, I was crying also. If you actually pipe in the audio, you can hear me crying like a child.
So I'm literally sitting in the backseat of the truck. And I'm looking out. I said, hey, Steve Evans is coming. Hey, Steve-O's about to be in the camper. And then we felt the truck yell. I was like, Steve-O's in the camper. And then we realized that how do we get Steve-O out of the truck inside the camper? And we keep driving like almost.
That's lap one.
And Steve-O's, I'm screaming through the back window. Are you okay? Are you okay? This is just about verbatim. Am I good? Can I fucking win? And this is all I hear screaming from inside of the camper. And the safety, we finally stop. The safety crew starts busting out windows of the camper. And I just hear, he's good. He's good. And I get a thumbs up. And Steve is just screaming with excitement because he just drove that Chevy inside that camera. Man, my goodness. I can't imagine the adrenaline rush from him. I know my adrenaline rush. Jesus Christ, I thought I was going to drive through the whole bed of the truck. But it's just awesome, dude. These night discussions, we live for this thing, man.
And now we're going to dominate an whole other track with the Nod Mod.
We're going to try.
And Leah's on here now, so like I told in the post earlier, she might need some extra security with you around because you just never know, Wiktor, what you're going to be up to. But
I have an employee shirt. You have no idea what I'm going to do at Hartford because I can go anywhere I want to, as long as they don't know that I'm there. So it's going to be a great time.
Well, that's
especially if I get my hands on the hot dogs.
Well, do you want to talk a little bit about what you were able to do last time? Again, you do such an incredible job with your social media. I mean, obviously, you've built a following that would make a lot of people jealous, like me. And where I'm like 800,000 plus people, like, just that's crazy, right? And so, but you get there because of the quality of content that you do. You get there because of the quality of a product that you're putting out for people to enjoy. And obviously now you're using that platform, that power to promote short track racing, which we all, right? Every track needs that right now. They need that help. And you have, again, a wide range of people who you're able to, tap into and showcase all your antics that you're up to. So do you want to talk a little bit, for those who may have missed it, what you were able to do last time at Hartford and how you want to build on that?
So, I mean, it's very hard for me to speak. You have to bear with me. The voice wants to come and go as it pleases. But I mean, really, it was last year. I went to have fun with a friend of mine, with David Gales, and I got to hold the mattress in the mattress race as we drove around, and I was hooked. I reached out to them and to Leah Dibble, and I was like, look, if you will have me, I would love to do what I can to shoot videos and to promote, and she was like, absolutely, come on down. And the rest is kind of history. It's just I go out there and I film what goes on, and I put a funny spin to it, and I kind of take advantage of that and steal hot dogs. That's pretty much what I do now.
Well, and again, you were able to. I mean, Leah has had a lot of fun. You know, I know having you around, and that you and I got to meet last October. That's the first time you and I got to meet, and so again, that's where I've just been able to, as an outsider, right? I've gotten to watch, you know, the impact that you've started to make on this area. Obviously, raising funds for the ball field, you know, doing that, bringing, you know, these guys together, you know, as part of the group, and you know, again, you can't have more phenomenal people, you know, as part of this team who are then sitting right in front of you. Feel free to honk your horn if you want to get Frank to have a little boot scoot and boogie, but
I can't. They ensured that I would not do that during the podcast.
Hold on.
You can hold my mattress, Dad.
I've been misjudged. I'd rather do the watermelon crawl, but continue.
but again,
Gross.
but watching what you've been able to do, you know, and I know with your voice, that's why I've kind of not gone your direction too many times.
I appreciate it.
You know, because I don't want you to strain. I mean, you got to get ready by Saturday, right? But I just appreciate you still making time of getting on. So again, you're at Hartford. You're taking how many total cars?
At this point, we are going to take two. The not mod and something else that is secret.
He's been holding a piece of pizza the whole time. I just noticed that.
Oh boy.
It's terrible.
So rumor has it, Mark Stoll's coming up to Hartford.
Oh.
And rumor also has it the Wiktor Shark Car might be making an appearance up there.
Oh, that would be some breaking news on here. So
We just lost the tripod.
uh-oh.
It's been slipping for a while.
But so new Paris Shark maybe, and I can't remember if he's been to Hartford or not, or if he's been to Hartford.
not.
Many. Okay.
He is not.
Because I didn't think that was one of his tracks that he's been to. That would be awesome. And I have talked with him about coming up to Hartford a couple times, and so that again, I'm gonna miss it, right? I'm gonna have to watch all this video though, because watching the shark out there, that'll be fun, especially on the dirt. You know, it'll be a wet track, so he'll be kind of in his natural element as a shark, right? You know, he might get more people that way. But so you're bringing two cars. You're obviously bringing the non-mod. And then what other car do you guys plan to bring up there that you might showcase, or is that still secret?
That's still secret.
That was going to be a little bit of a hush hush.
Oh, okay. All right. Open trailer or closed trailer? So will people be able to follow you to Hartford?
All of them are going to be open trailer.
So when you're going down 131 up to, or 31, excuse me, up to.
Well, who said the trailer is illegal? We may not be taking 131.
Whatever.
Frank!
Joking. Be kidding.
To the law enforcement watching, Frank has no association with us as of tonight. We don't know what he's talking about. And everything is legal. When police are not around, everything is legal.
So
Find Frank Asphalt 97.7 classic rock.
the trip to Hartford, the car is going to look a little different.
Okay.
We may or may not have done some damage to the wing in the Rank It Up race when the bolts come loose and it was shaking up there pretty hard.
Oh, okay.
So the wing is going to come off for the trip up there, but you can't miss the pink last minute mafia on the side.
No.
It's supposed to be red, but I don't know what fades.
Yeah.
We may test it out.
So again, for Hartford fans, oh, I see. Wiktor's ready. So careful, Frank. He might target you with it, but he might.
There's a windshield between them, and I prefer there not be spray paint on it. Although Frank did already break most of the windshield earlier tonight.
I was trying to cuddle with you, and you didn't like it.
Well,
That's a true story.
I need an adult.
Now, Booz, you kind of been quiet tonight. Do you have any questions for them? Because you got to meet Wiktor and Jeremy and all that a couple weeks ago on here.
Oh yeah, okay. I was about to say, did I?
So did you? Since then, I know you kind of gotten into them a little bit. Do you have any questions before they go to Hartford?
So it seems like we have a little bit of a tour of chaos going on, gentlemen. I guess my question would be maybe what's next? What are some other plans that may be in the works? Maybe a hint at one. I don't want you to give away the whole idea, obviously.
Our tour always depends on surviving the next event.
That's very fair.
we really have not put thought in beyond Hartford because we don't know if we will survive Hartford. So if we survive Hartford, then we will come up with other plans.
New Paris, we will be there on the 3rd, whether it's with the non-mod or we have to find something else. We will be there on the 3rd. I have the trailer race SUV is going to be back at New Paris, and hopefully Chris and Tracy will allow me to do that again. That was a blast.
Well, while you're talking, it may make some noise here momentarily. For people watching, I forget, what did I label it? I think I called it Pac-Man trailer, but I'm trying to think of what I put it on when I saved it because I did the full race and I don't remember. But if you want to talk a little bit while I'm looking for it, because that was pretty fun the way that they did it. And here we go. This should be Pac-Man trailer, so it's gonna make noise for like a second.
You guys ready to go trailer racing?
Well, yes, we're ready to go. So for those who don't,
why are you yelling at me?
This is Phil. Oh, I'm using my pointer like I'm a freaking meteorologist. You can't see that I'm pointing my mouse. But anyways, in the middle is Phillip. Everybody else here has a trailer. His job is to remove those trailers as best as possible and knock them out of the race. So, Phillip, do you want to talk a little bit about that and how this came to be? Because New Paris is very forthcoming in that, you know what, we know our trailer races have been boring, So do you want to talk a little bit about what it was like for you to be here chasing them down, being the reason maybe they didn't finish the race?
So we showed up to New Paris with intentions of, I was going to drive this. My buddy Alejandro Banda, he acquired a Saturn Saturday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or 1:30 in the afternoon. Showed up to Jeremy and said, hey, this is yours for the night if you want it. And he stripped it and brought it to the track for me, and I was just going to run in the Cowboy Cadillac truck enduro. And during the driver's meeting, people have about the trailer race. It all started with boats, campers, fun stuff to watch it float on the track. And it's really gotten away from that, really gotten away from contact. Everybody's racing for the money. And I raised my hand and told Chris and Tracy and Steven, I was like, hey, I got a car down here that I'm junking tonight. If it survives to the trailer race, I will go out and I will take attempt to take every trailer off. And I did a halfway decent job, I would say. It was a lot of fun. It was nerve-wracking at first because you never know what the trailer's going to do when you hit it. It all worked out. We got all but one.
Well, and that's where fans really enjoyed this, right? Because it took something, Pac-Man, and then, it took the trailer race and it really juiced it up. And I remember talking with Chris, I think it was the next day, we talked about this race quite a bit. And we were talking, he's talking about, well, what do you name it? Or, should we keep the name? Should we call it something different? And I said, but for fans, they know Pac-Man and they know New Paris is synonymous with the Pac-Man race. And so I said, you're taking a well-known race and elements of that race and merging it with the trailer race. I said, so I would just call it the Pac-Man trailer race because they know what a trailer race is and they know what Pac-Man is. And so it adds that excitement to it. And this is where then it was this moment here with the Rum Runners that you started a little bit of a rivalry in this race.
Yeah. He bumped me pretty good there and I bounced my head off the B-pillar, and I was a little frustrated. And then I got into his trailer. We'll see it here in a minute. A couple laps later, and I could not get it off. Yep, it was go time from there. That right there is what really pushed it over the edge. I couldn't get his trailer off. Out of all of them, that's the only one I couldn't get off.
Well, and I know they talked about there's supposed to be someone who is going to also be with you because that was some comments online. There should be 2 of them, and it's like, well, that was the plan, but remember, this is the
No, that was never the plan.
Oh, okay. I thought someone said that they're going to have.
Somebody made a comment about it, and then when we were down talking to Tracy right after to make sure she was good with it, they never showed up to talk with Tracy, and it come down to me, and then I mean we had a 5-minute wait there waiting for Tracy and Chris to okay it when I pulled out on the track. And
yeah.
I don't think we need 2 out there, to be honest with you. I mean, if we had 40, 50 cars out there for the trailer race, sure, maybe. But trailer race guys like to take each other's trailers off anyway. This is just helping.
Yeah, and that's where again you can kind of see the fans in the background as I get some of them in the shot, and they're loving everything that you're doing. They ate this up because it was fun. I mean, I was sports entertained, watching this, and that's where I would tell people, and I think I've had the conversation with you guys that the new Paris trailer race I probably wouldn't put up there at that time, right? Like it was good, but it wasn't like phenomenal, right? Whereas obviously Pac-Man is phenomenal, and so it's like, what can you do to spice it up? And obviously this spiced it up, and you're maneuvering and pacing them down, and the fact that they didn't really know that you're going to be purposely out there taking stuff out, like some knew, some didn't, but I mean, you going all over the place. This is what I love about New Paris, is that there's no obstacles. Like literally you can go everywhere. And so that makes it so much easier to chase and get those like edge moments where like, oh, he almost got it, right? Like, and that's what the fans love is sometimes I think they love the almost got it more than they love the got it. And, because it's like, is he going to do it this time? He didn't, right? You just keep them engaged the whole time. And so I think when you have races like that, it just makes it so much fun because there's not a chance to be bored. There's not a chance to check your phone. There's not a chance to, go, okay, I can go to the bathroom. Like you're sitting here going, did he get it this time? Did he get it this time? And so again, you made this super fun out there.
I totally spaced out. I'm watching the video on the screen.
Ooh, shiny toys. So we need to put you in a room of shiny objects, right?
No.
No.
We have plenty of that going around here.
Well, and I know, again, it's, I know you guys have a lot of work ahead of you to get to Hartford on Friday. So definitely appreciate you, coming on to talk about what you're doing. Again, I know Wiktor, with you not feeling well, it's like, I appreciate you jumping on, even though I've been trying to avoid you just because I know with your voice, but
all good.
But you making the time to come on. So again, the Hartford Night of Destruction, Boujou and I will obviously talk about it on Thursday with the Thursday Night Throttle, but anybody watching or still watching, you'll have these cool cats all there at the Hartford Speedway, putting on a show with, and Wiktor, you've seen the Hartford, obviously, Jeremy, you have. I mean, they put on a pretty good night.
They put on a hell of a night of destruction.
So, and they're going to have fireworks. And Boujou, you'll feel the fireworks booming in New Paris, I promise you. Especially if it's the same group who usually does it, there's going to be big fireballs at the end of the night, and that's just going to light up the sky pretty good.
Oh boy!
Isn't the show at Hartford on Saturday night, not Friday night?
Did I say Friday? I meant Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday the 13th.
This Saturday the 13th at Hartford, and so this is not the Race of Doom one. So I know everyone asks when the Race of Doom is. The Race of Doom will be in October, but they'll have about 7 to 9 events. It's a pretty quick show. They like to start on time, and they like to be done by about 10:30. So they'll water down the track. They'll do some different things. I think monster trucks will be there. They're usually there. So, yep. And so they always put on a good show. And so again, that's where, if you have nothing to do on Saturday in Southwest Michigan and you want to head to a night of,
I will literally be everywhere.
You will see Wiktor, and he may or may not have hot dogs that he's throwing at you or asking to sell to you or whatever it may be. So definitely see Wiktor. If you, by then, hopefully your voice is fully back.
It better be. If it's not, I'm going to be thoroughly disappointed.
We should get him some lipstick and a wig and a dress. And
oh my gosh.
I need an adult.
Well, there's nobody who's volunteered in the chat. There's a couple who said, "Well, that takes us out too." So, so finding an adults might be a little bit of a challenge right now. But again, the weather is supposed to be. If I saw right, it's supposed to be nice. I haven't seen if it's changed yet or not. Because
I plan on staring off into the weather like this.
Yeah. I have
for the next 5 days, so it will be fine by Saturday.
So again, if you want to follow Wiktor and the crew, obviously they will be over at Hartford this Saturday, and it sounds like July. If you can't see them at Hartford in that face, then July 3rd you'll see them at the New Paris Night of Destruction, which is New Paris's biggest and best night of destruction of the year. So definitely get out there. It'll be standing room only. I promise you that, because that place packs on the July night of destruction. And it sounds like you're going to have Frank with you too on that Friday.
Saturday
Saturday
At New Paris.
Saturday at Hartford. Frank will be with us. Are you coming to New Paris on the 3rd?
Maybe.
Oh,
I can't count that high.
It
okay.
depends on if the surprise that we have
Okay.
can make other plans.
Because I know that's your goal this year. You were saying that you want to race at least one time this year at New Paris. So maybe July 3rd, maybe not. We'll have to see if the Mexability makes a return to New Paris in a car. But other than that, I know you guys have tons of stuff that you need to get done, so I don't want to keep you any longer.
I don't know what you're talking about. We can go race it right now.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Wow. Tell we're on the way.
No, we're coming to Hotline.
It doesn't have a tie rod. No.
Well, you might.
I think we can go racing like this.
Yeah.
It's good to me.
Stand and everything. We'll be good. It'll be all right.
70% of Ivanovko racing is wrangling cats. It's wrangling cats. That's what it is.
But if it makes it fun, as Jeremy said in a message when him and I were talking, he said the track, right? For everything that they've done in racing, right, to have this new challenge, but to have this, like I said, camaraderie, right? It makes it fun, because you can tell you guys are obviously enjoying each other. So if you can find people who you can enjoy yourselves around, then you're already winning.
That is fair.
How about Frank? But Frank knows I'm a big fan of his, so I got to give him crap anytime I get a chance to see him, because I don't get to see him as much. But Dave Reckoning will probably be our next time we cross paths over at M40. But again, I definitely just, good luck to you guys, and I definitely appreciate you being willing to come on again before this next night of destruction.
Absolutely.
Say what you're going to be doing to show the car, because some people may not have seen it yet. So. Especially for those who are at Hartford who maybe missed the New Paris stuff. So there's the car behind you. I promise you, when it comes on the track, it won't be a Great Lakes Super Sprint, but it might look like one.
Thank you.
I don't know if it'll
before you go, man, I always say this to you. I think I speak for all of us when I say this, man, for what you and now Buju. Also, this goes for you too, man. The kind of things that you do for short track racing and the media, the time spent, the money spent, both of you, it's just incredibly appreciated. There's a lot of folks out there that wouldn't see what's offered in the Midwest without what you guys do. Buju, of course, with your bull ring and things like that, TikTok, Instagram. Be sure to go follow this guy as well. Just look for Buju Bull Ring. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Instagram, TikTok. My daughter actually sent me the thing about New Paris last night. She'd never seen it before on TikTok, so she sent that to me from her aunt's phone. I thought that was pretty cool that she had kind of stumbled upon that on TikTok. And, Lewis, you are just a gem to what we all do, man, from night destruction to regular racing. My God, dude, you have devoted your life to this shit, and it cannot be appreciated enough. So to have us, just our little crew on, it means the world to us. I mean, you've got a worldwide platform, man, and we sure do appreciate it.
Oh, as we talked about with Chris and Tracy, it takes all of us together, right? And we need butts and seats, and you guys are doing your part to put on the show, and
No, I mean, yeah, let me go back to Frank with that one. What you guys are doing with this stuff, and I mean, it's not a secret to anybody who watches this show. I'm not the biggest Night of Destruction guy, so I'm kind of in the dark a little bit on this stuff. But it's cool that you guys are bringing another audience. I mean, Wiktor has obviously built a following, and that's very cool. And he's bringing that following to the racetrack. And if it brings 100 new people to a Night of Destruction, and one of those people decides to come watch racing in circles the next week, that means a lot to me. So I appreciate what you guys are doing just as much as you guys are giving back to
Get
me.
your ass out for one, and just come hang out in our pit for the night. Just kind of walk around, indulge, and I'm telling you, man, the Night of Destruction realm, it's two different worlds.
Yeah, for sure.
I did I chased points for I think 2.5 years, and I just couldn't get on board with that. I loved it. Don't get me wrong. Dude, me and Ryan Engelmeyer put on one hell of a race between me and Ryan Engelmeyer. Kurt Spencer Werger was one who coached me. I almost jumped my shit the first time I ever had a car out. He was like, what the hell are you doing? You need to do this, 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 and this. Went back out, set fast time, and we won the first night out in that car. Huge for me. I was just a Night of Destruction guy still. We had a lot of fun with that while we did it, but I really enjoyed the camaraderie. I enjoyed the fan inclusion. I enjoy this shit like this. This is ridiculous.
It is not ridiculous. It is 100% functional.
But
it works. And we didn't die.
You shut your mouth, guy. You shut up. But this kind of shit is what I'm here for. Like the ridiculousness, the foolishness, and the camaraderie after racing.
Functional and effective.
Anybody who fights after a Night of Destruction.
I'm going to fight you.
Rowdy sometimes, but it's not like a regular race night. I mean, we're all put on one hell of a show. We come out there to entertain. We come out there to do what we do, and we want to give the fan their seats worth. That's all we're there to do.
That's not true. I'm there to steal hot dogs.
Yeah.
And he was negotiating with race control to get a win over at New Paris too. We all watched what he's doing. He was throwing out like pennies. Those are worth a lot of money now. So
I don't negotiate. I would have threatened with weaponry. That never happened.
I just offered a bonus. I said somebody $20. Whoever takes Jake Kelly's wings off.
Yeah.
It's just an extra incentive. That's not trying to buy a win.
Well, and his wings survived. That I was shocked because they fell apart the last time out there, and I know he's been sending me pictures of his new creation, but his wings survived that night. I was a little bit shocked on that.
They survived until the trip home.
Oh,
he won't share that, but they fell off going down 17.
Oh no!
He stopped and grabbed them, but they come on.
Oh boy! Well, they survived the night, and last year when he had those, they fell apart like race 3. They didn't make it very far during that night. But again, that's where you guys just do an incredible job. And so again, just keep it up because you're bringing a change in the area, in your own way, where you get to make an impact, doing something different and fun, and kind of investing in that this is supposed to be fun, right? And I don't know, Wiktor, sometimes you might feel like, what did you get yourself into? But again, you able to use your platform, to promote short track racing and do it in a healthy way. That's really important because there are a lot of people who have those kind of platforms and they're not doing that.
I mean, I just go out to have fun and it kind of all works out. So
yeah, well, it's working because you can tell. I mean, even at the track, you interacted with people even as they came up to you. And I know sometimes, right, being a celebrity, that's not always easy because obviously you're there to also do stuff too, right? And so, put on, work on a car, turn a wrench, yell at the car, kick the car, whatever it may be. But you definitely, you're engaging with everyone, not standoffish. And so I think that's...
As long as you don't approach me when I am standing at the urinal, I will 9 times out of 10 be cordial. If you come up to me while I am restroom, I will have problem.
Yeah, that. I hope nobody does that, but
Yeah, shout out to the one time at New Paris. They have a trough, by the way.
yeah.
It's very awkward.
Yep. Well, not to go there, but if you go in the one corner, there's usually a spider there that you can also target
listen.
practice with.
You know who you are, and it wasn't cool. That's where we'll leave it.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
That's weird. But anyways, sorry that you had to deal with that. But anyways,
No, it's fine.
now you know the rules. If
It was Frank.
Oh, okay.
What
Well, but anyways, guys, like I said, I know you have some wrenching to do, some paint.
You need to carry this into the bathroom with you.
All
Got tub
these
of towels out.
So
All the stuff about
those.
the urinal now, that's just feel like I have to wash my hands.
Who's your
These subtitles
sponsor?
work really great, by the way, Vic.
What was that?
These subtitles work really great.
They're fantastic.
Yes, they're
Yeah,
great.
isn't that what you were handing out in the little packets? Are those the wipes that you're handing out?
Oh yeah, the tub of towels.
Yeah, someone just said that Jason Seltzer made a post like last week or something that he used it, and he said these are actually pretty amazing. So,
Hey, can
I always say what you want about them, but if you say they don't work, you're a liar.
yeah, I didn't even know it was a thing until I got one from you.
Oh yeah.
So,
Gotta be in the camera.
They really don't. Adulthood.
work pretty well, I guess. These are the ones that are a bit gritty.
It's getting off the
Pay no
rails.
attention.
well, oh boy, Frank,
Frank.
he needs a babysitter. Wiktor hired a babysitter just for him. But again, guys, like I said, I know you have stuff to do, and I've already taken an hour of your time tonight. But good luck, be safe, have fun, enjoy the Hartford crowd. They're going to come out and eat it up alive. And when they do the glow stuff at night, whoever's announcing, they usually have them do some kind of glow stuff. That's pretty cool to see too, if you've not seen that. So if you're again, for anyone watching, if you're not doing anything this Saturday night in Southwest Michigan, head on out to Hartford Speedway, where they will be putting on their first of 3 Night of Destructions. And obviously, too, I forgot to say this at the top of the hour, but share out the podcast. We've had incredible audiences the last couple weeks where we have just record after record. Leah almost beat the record that Mason and them set, and I know Mason just passed you guys with 9,000 something, but Leah brought it up she was at 8.5 when you total all the pages, so she got close. So so definitely share this out there, get it out. Not only did we have a lot of conversation with Chris and Tracy about their new program at New Paris Speedway, that was the first 45 minutes or so of the program, but last hour has been talking with Frank, Jeremy, Phillip, and Wiktor. Kind of talking to Wiktor. Like I said, I'm respecting your voice, and
I appreciate it.
Don't want you to strain it, but I appreciate you making the time to come on. So again, follow Wiktor on social media. His page was tagged a couple times today, so head over, follow him, see all his antics, all his YouTube videos and reels and all that he posts, because some of your reaction videos too are just funny to watch too. I sit there and I'll watch them, and I'll just doom scroll and watch each one and just laugh. So, and where you find some of these things, I'm like, where do you even find that kind of stuff? But you seem to find it and make it really fun. So again, follow him. You can listen to Frank Gasco on Rock 107 or Classic Rock. Sorry, Rock 107 is Michigan. Classic Rock 97.7 on the radio. Jeremy, where can people follow you on social media?
TikTok, Greasy's Garage on Instagram. I've been posting a lot of stuff there. And my personal page, Jeremy Templeton.
Thanks.
You see me in a lot of Wiktor's comments.
And then Phillip, where can people find you and what you're doing, especially since you are one of those classic, Night of Destruction competitors?
It's just Phillip Krehn on all platforms. Maybe not. I don't know what TikTok is. I think TikTok's big. Hold on, I'll pull it up. I think.
Hey, but it's not spelled Krehn like you think.
Yeah, it's It's PHILL 2 L's. IP space KREHN. TikTok is. Hold on, it's loading. Big _country 223.
Oh, see,
Hey, I spanked his ass and he come out of his mama's womb, and I still didn't understand how to say his last name. So I just got clarified.
Okay. Listen, my mom's watching, and she'll show up here.
That's okay.
uh-oh, mom's
I
coming.
need an adult. Anyway,
Well, again, you guys all have fun. Wiktor, definitely get better because, like I said, that's not fun what you're going through. But hopefully by Saturday you'll be ready to go, and if not, you'll still have fun because that's just who you are as a person. So
absolutely.
follow all their antics on social media. So again, we will see you guys. Well, I probably won't see you for a couple weeks now because I won't be at the July 3rd one. I'll be at Kalamazoo that night, so I'll miss out that night, and obviously I'm missing Hartford. But we'll see you.
We'll send you videos, pictures.
Absolutely, because I enjoy watching them and seeing what you guys are doing. So again, good luck this Saturday, and you all have fun.
I'll try to get Jeremy to charge his GoPro. We'll put it in the. Well, we can run it in this, and we can put it in the Saturn for the trailer race.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun.
Oh, Christ.
And a big shout out to Stevie Smith hiding over in the corner.
Yeah.
He definitely helped keep this thing on the track at the last NOD at New Paris. And Austin Richardson, huge shout out to him. I mean, he owns the car technically. He gave it to us to do what we do with it. It was going to be a one and done. And for my gender reveal, and then Wiktor come around to help us get this ready for that. And yeah, it's gonna be around for a while from the sounds of it.
Oh, good. Well, and Austin does he does a lot of things for the Night of Destruction too, and sometimes doesn't. He'll be on actually the last Monday, just before their Night of Destruction, July 3rd. Him and Megan are going to be on the podcast here to talk about the Night of Destruction coming up. So I'm excited to have Austin on, and that way he can kind of talk about what he's done in the Night of Destruction world too. So they'll be on that just before that Night of Destruction at New Paris, and maybe we can get you guys up to the Kalamazoo one. It does not go head to head with New Paris. It's the Saturday before on June 28th. I'm going to say it is at Kalamazoo Speedway.
If it survives Hartford, the next one the non-mod will be participating in will be July 3rd. But I might have a little surprise. I won't be able to get up there.
Okay. Well, definitely check for the schedule at Kalamazoo, because just to give it a shot, we're still building it. Kenny Hadd is behind it, so he's organizing it this year. I know they're doing bus demolition derby, so I'm excited for that because, who doesn't love a bus demolition derby? And it's not just circling; they're actually going to demo them. So I'm excited to see them crash them up. So again, maybe we'll see you then. But if not, it'll be a couple Night of Destruction from now where our paths will probably cross again. So definitely be safe this week and have fun.
We will. We're going to be up at M40 too, so I'm sure we'll see you.
Oh yeah, I'll be at M40. I have all their Sunday shows on my schedule to make out there. So, because that's a day that works for me. And Saturdays I'm usually elsewhere. So, again, tear it up on the dirt and get those fans to love that non-mod just as much.
Oh yeah.
We'll do our best.
All right.
Thank you, boys. Have fun.
Yeah.
Having a good day.
Yeah, you too. So again, we've been talking with Wiktor and Friends. They are heading up to the Hartford Motor Speedway Hartford Motor Speedway, man, that's a way throwback. Hartford Speedway this Saturday night for the Night of Destruction. And don't forget, earlier we were also live on the New Paris page where we talked to Chris and Tracy about their program that they will be doing this Saturday, officially starting the Showcase Class of the Week, where it's no additional cost. So my joke was, this isn't WWE where to talk to Cody Rhodes for 1 minute you get $15,000 you have to pay Buju, for 1 minute Cody Rhodes time. So it's a meet and greet at intermission. It'll be about 15-20 minutes. Drivers will sign autographs and they'll get to talk with fans too. And they will also do auto car introductions. And Buju, who will be announcing this Saturday once again at the hottest quarter mile in the Midwest, will ask somebody to help start the engines. And so with that, Buju, wrong graphic there. Let me get us back here. Any closing thoughts on the weekend that you wanted to share? Like I said, I know we kind of started with a small little rant at the beginning.
Yeah.
Tired of it. Anything from your side?
I mean, I guess it's kind of going back to what we talked about at the beginning, but just give the racetracks a break. We had a little bit of it in the comments during the show, and I was kind of going back and forth a little bit. It's like, don't you realize that it's tough everywhere? I mean, we got somebody calling out the track that we had on earlier, and it's like, are you not looking at car counts everywhere else? Did you not see the forecast all week?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I just like it's circling back to the beginning, so I don't want to dwell on it too much. But it's frustrating.
But I think that is the thing that how do I want to say this?
And at the same time, I don't want to act like the racetracks are perfect either. I mean, racetracks across the board, and I'm not picking any specifics, and I'm not necessarily saying any one specific, but the racetracks can do better too. Then there's things, and like New Paris, where it's on tonight, they're trying something different. They're trying something new.
Yep.
Give them I almost cursed for the first time on the show. give them a break.
Well, I think that's the thing. It's understanding that, when people get on Facebook, which I've equated to the internet wrestling community, and anyone who's a part of the internet wrestling community knows what that means. And if you're not a part of it, you're just go to CNN, Fox, whatever.
Yeah, look at their comments. Yeah, it's the same idea.
The thing is that, tracks are trying, and I promise you there's not one night this year that Chris and Tracy have walked out ahead.
Yeah, and it's like, when I see those comments, it's like, do you think the track owner sitting in the tower going, "Oh, we're getting one over on them. We only got 8 street stocks tonight"? No, they want 40 street stocks too. They want 2,000 people in the grandstands. You think they're happy about this? No, they're not trying to get one over on you. They're trying their best too.
Yeah,
they want a great show also.
And that's the thing that, again, I always see it, and sometimes you'll see it when Outlaw Super late models come around. Well, back in the day, there used to be 60, and we'd have a D feature.
There's 60 don't exist anymore. Yeah,
I don't think so. I mean, you figure Reveal the Hammers had 35 max, I think, at a show.
Maybe if you pulled the ones from Canada and whatever version of Outlaws are running down in Florida now, maybe if you pulled them all together, you get 70. Maybe.
Right, but it's just the economy is impacting everybody. Right. I can look at my expenses. I had someone, Bouger, you'll appreciate this. I had someone, because I put my sponsor graphics at the beginning of each program to not only shout them out, but I also put there, if you want to sponsor Top Row and help Top Row out, here's the cost for a camera. And I had someone say a comment where they said, "Oh, you're just making all this money." And I'm like, "Do you want to see my bank account? Because I'm, over $19,000 in the hole right now that I have lost since 2024. Doing this." So 3 years, 2 seasons now, 19,000 in the hole. So those sponsors are not making any money, they're supporting, and I'm able to use that to try to not go broke this year, but I've been broke the last 2 years. So I'm trying to overcome 2 years of deficit spending. So it's like, do you not realize sponsor monies? They don't actually go very far. I mean, look at the cars that have sponsors. There's very few who do that. Tires, $700 to get tires. If that sponsor is only $200, that didn't pay, for those tires. That didn't pay for their pit passes. And I think, there's groups of people who understand. But then there's those groups who don't understand. And some of the people who are commenting this past weekend don't even live in the area. And it's like, do you not? I've almost been halfway tempted to go through my race pass to every track in the area, not by names, just put A, B, C, D. So you can't figure out which is which. Say, okay, how many classes do they have and how many cars do they have? Divide by classes, and then divide by that, maybe $15 divided by that. How much are you paying per car? And see what's the value, and and go, okay, you say, well, this track had 100 classes or 100 cars. Well, they had 8 classes. So you start breaking that down, and you go, okay, they had 10 in this one, they had 5 in that one, they had 7 in that one. Yes, it's 100, but it took 8. But you know what? Credit to them. Fans complain, 8 is too many. Okay, well, if they only had 3, you'd complain. It's just
to that point. I mean, I'm not going to name the tracks, but there's 2 tracks within very short distance of each other in our area here that both race Saturday. One track had about 25 more cars than the other one did, but they also had 2 more classes.
Yep.
So are you going to look at the entries? And I don't know. It's also frustrating. It's also frustrating.
Yeah. And that's where, and sometimes there's a fan last year at a track who went up to a race director and said, "I'm so tired of this They said different words. I'm so tired of this. I paid $15 to get in here, and racing is done by, it was 11 o'clock that night. Racing's done by 11 o'clock. I remember way back when racing would go till 2, 3 in the morning. I'm not getting my money's worth. I'm never coming back to this place again.
Yeah.
So it has to go until 2 in the morning for you to get money's worth.
Yeah.
And how many fans are left in the morning?
So the average race ticket is probably about $15 to get in around, right? For the week, for a weekly show.
Yep.
If you go to a movie, how much is that costing you these days? $12? That's probably in the range of 15 for a single ticket anymore, right? That's an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yep. Yep.
And how much is the popcorn at the movie theater? It's more than it is at the racetrack.
If you go to Celebration Cinema, you're paying premium pricing. If you go to like Wonderland Theater, you're not paying premium pricing. You're kind of getting what you get at Wonderland and Niles. But like, there's a couple all over. But yeah, I mean, just think if you went to a Notre Dame football game.
Oh yeah, you're paying
commercials. All the commercials. I get bored. I'm like, this is a time where I'd flip the channel, and I can't flip the channel right now.
Right.
You go to a South Bend Cubs game, right? You go to their concessions, you're paying $12 for, or $5 for a hot dog, I think, or $6 for a hot dog. Hamburgers, $8 with cheese is $9. So I mean, you're paying that, and at New Paris, you got a freaking jumbo hot dog for $4.50. You didn't get that hot dog size at South Bend Cubs. I know that. I've seen their pictures. You didn't get that for that price. And so again, that's just where I let people comment and all that, but that's where and I know the people who commented aren't watching, and if they are, I hope they understand. Like the freedom of speech does not extend to Facebook in different ways.
I have developed a short trigger on my page. If you're coming and bashing racing, there's a 50-50 shot you're getting booted immediately.
Yeah.
So.
There's plenty of people out there, to support it. And if you say it on your personal page, it's on your personal page. That's your choice.
Yeah, whatever.
In fact, share the post and say what you got to say. Give Top Row the rub and then do that. But to do it in the comment section, I'm just not gonna go with it anymore. It's not healthy.
And as you said earlier, if they weren't complaining about the car count, they'd be complaining about something. There's too many cars. We're here too late.
Yep.
I can get up in the morning.
oh yeah. Well, there is a track. We're not going to say the track, but there's a track that had a weekday show that people said that they watched at that show, and that racing was done well before. And there's a couple media outlets that decided to do pieces of writing on it in the area, and I'm like, I just fine to them, because they know that that's a hit piece and they know that they're going to get engagement on it, and that's the only reason why they wrote those articles, is because they needed to boost their numbers. But I'm not going to do that to that track, because that's not fair. And there's something that Drew Jack, there's a track in the area that had struggles that Drew Jack gave me all the heads up. I had all the heads up on things, and he said, you could post it. And I went, I'm not posting it. Top Row does not do that. Top Row has not done that. And I'm not going to do that to any track. And so you won't see negative things like that, where, that track, they came out and said, hey, we understand. And I know the owner is going to do his best to fix that. But then for some media outlets to do special pieces on that to extend the conversation even more, it's like they already got beat up online night off. They're already getting annihilated the next day by some people. You making an article just to get hundreds of likes and hundreds of comments, you're just doing that to boost your numbers. You're not doing it for anything else, any other purpose, and you serve no purpose. Like, those articles did nothing for that. Let the track figure it out. Let the track make a post and let it be done, instead of keeping the conversation going on, because then it just festers. And I told people, those kind of things I'm not gonna post on Top Row, because I'm not going to sit there and let tracks get MF'd and everything else. Like, that was frustrating too. It's like, they've already lived it. Why are you writing about it more? It's dumb, quite honestly. But that's the world that we live in, right? People, likes, clicks, and shares, and people will go out of the way to get that. And there's
some money.
Yeah.
I had to do it.
But think about this, Buju. How many times this year could I have posted something and I didn't?
Yeah.
That's the thing, that some people don't give me that credit, unfortunately, because they're not smart. But it's one of those things that, like, think of the modified race at Trifecta. I could have posted
Oh,
that
yeah.
finish, and I didn't because
Mhm.
I already knew the call at Kalamazoo with the late model. I originally was not going to post it, but unfortunately, some other people posted it, and it's like, well, if anyone's going to post it, it should come from the official media outlet of the racetrack, not side people who are just copy paste versions of me, and that's who it should come from, But I turned comments off, but I wasn't going to post it at first because it's like that's just not that doesn't help, right? But they fixed the decision, and afterwards. I know my video helped because they used it as it helped them from other angles that they had, and they made the right call and they fixed it. And so I reposted it with the new stuff. But it's like, when you have things like that and a race ends like that, you don't post it until you know for sure, because those results were not solidified. We
Yeah.
had the show, so they made an announcement, but behind the scenes they were still doing their investigating, and they can't do that in 2 minutes. They
Right.
had many different camera angles because Kalamazoo has cameras all over that track. They had cameras that they had to put together and see, and then they had my angle. And my angle didn't solve everything, but it solved a lot of things. And but it's like at first I wasn't going to post that because it's like I already know what this is going to look like on social media. I already
Yeah.
knew. And that's why I turned comments off, because then people were doing that on another video. They were saying their P's and Q's, I's and T's, and it's like, that's not even the race and you're commenting on
Yeah.
that, and
Right.
and I get it, competition, but it's like we got to do media, whoever, we just have to do better on some things, but we also have to come together as a community. And
Yeah.
if you're going to comment on crowd size and car counts and all this, do it on your page, don't do it on the other pages.
See, to me, when what we do, and I mean, you've obviously built a much bigger following than me, and I'm much newer to all this stuff, but to me, our job in this role is to make racing look cool.
Yeah.
In whatever way we see that to be, our job is to make racing look cool. And if you're going the opposite way and you're pulling the rope in the opposite direction and yanking those people out of those grandstands and sending those cars somewhere else,
Yep.
are you helping the cause, or are you just happy to be part of the game? You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This isn't me bashing anybody either. It's like I said, we all have our own philosophies, I guess. But to me, we should all be trying to get people in the stands, cars in the pits. If you get one new person to the racetrack, like I said earlier with Wiktor and them, if you get one new person in the stands, man, that's a win, because we desperately need them everywhere. Every single racetrack needs them.
Well, in New Paris, there's someone who commented on the one. They came from Ohio and they had a great time, and just, so it's one of those that I keep telling people, especially drivers, and I've said this to a couple at New Paris especially, who have said how much they're enjoying it this year, how much they're liking it this year. I said, you need to post that anywhere and everywhere. I said, obviously, we don't want to hurt other tracks when we do that, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm always careful too, where like, when I talk with people, on Messenger or whatever, not on race day. Race day is race day, that track is that track. But then Monday through Thursday, it's fair game. And, you say, hey, I know that you have an off weekend at this track, or your class is off this weekend. Why don't you come try this track out? Just try it once. And that's something that, do it on an off night. So then I'm not pulling you from your home. I don't want you, I don't want someone to think, oh, you're just pulling them away from me. No, not at all. If they have an off night, I'm certainly going to encourage them to go someplace.
Yeah.
Because they're already off. So they're not impacting their home track, we'll call it. And it's like, try somewhere else. I think of Anthony Duell, who was in here. One of his goals this year racing Sonic, the street stock, is to bounce around, to try different tracks as he can. And
okay. That's okay. I just put together who that was. Okay.
And I think sometimes that more fun, or, does that give you more skill? Because I mean, obviously he's a Kalamazoo racer. So just street stock Kalamazoo in itself, right, takes a lot of skill to be in that class at that track, because I think a majority of people would agree that you're not going to find much better street stock racing anywhere else. And that doesn't mean there's not close seconds, but just the amount of talent in 24 cars that you can have on one track at one time, like, come on, that it's just incredible racing there. But we're also lucky in this whole region with street stock racing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether that is at M40, whether that is at Galesburg, whether that is down at New Paris and others, that we're very lucky.
Just my personally, from Owasso to Anderson, I mean, we've got great street stocks, just at least, and that's the range I cover, you know?
Yeah. And so I think it's like, right, let's appreciate that, whether there's 8 of them on the track or 24 of them on the track.
Yeah.
Because just think of how many years ago it was, if I remember the history right, that street stocks were the class that was struggling to stay alive.
Not long ago at all. Yeah.
Right. And now it's one of the most elite classes that we have in the area. So it's like, it wasn't that long ago that street stocks were on the chopping block, possibly. And unfortunately, in Oregon, they are on the chopping block. They won't be racing street stocks the rest of the year, but they can't run a program on 4.
I don't think it's any secret to anybody who's paid attention to this show or my pages that street stocks are the main event of the area right now to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still enjoy late models and templates and sportsmen and whatever else, but man, and we talk about it all the time, but the depth of talent in the street stocks, like you said, in the whole area is so insane. It's like, I go to these big dirt races. I went to Eldora Friday for the dirt late model dream, and it's like that. These street stock races remind me of that, where you have 60 cars in one class and 35 guys can, you know, have a shot at winning it. It's crazy, and that's the street stocks right now. And I feel like a lot of fans are missing out because I think they feel like they need late model on the poster to show up to a racetrack, and street stocks to me are putting on better racing these days, much better racing, in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. Well, and that's where that limited class is finally building up. We're getting enough cars of them in the area. You've got some people who have switched over. You know,
and I am a fan. The limited class is such. I've talked about that. Sorry, I have to have a microphone in front of me now. But the limited class is such a great idea. It's to me, it's kind of the bridge to that old school ingenuity and finding something new and not on a monster budget. Hopefully, I'm not looking at these guys' checkbooks, but.
But that's where, again, you know, that class is coming. So that class could be, you know, the future where we're having that same conversation.
And I hope so.
But, you know, but that's where, like, rising tides, right? And so it's, again, you know, if you have something negative to say, just scroll by, right? You know, just because the comment section is there doesn't actually mean you have to comment. You do have the privilege to, and it is a privilege. It's not a right. But you do have a privilege to comment on these pages, but just know that these pages has the privilege to be able to use some tools at their discretion. You know, if you're not, you know, doesn't mean they have to agree with your opinion, but if you're going to bash a driver, bash a track, bash anything, not offer solutions, then like on my page, I'm just not going to tolerate it, right? Like I'm just not going to put up with it because, you know, someone else is going to see that. And sometimes even when I know someone's being sarcastic, sometimes I'll still give them the response because I want others to see it's not going to be tolerated. Even though if I know that person is being sarcastic,
right?
What I'll say is you might be being sarcastic, but someone else is not going to be.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? Like I know what your intention was, but I definitely know there's someone waiting in the wings who's not the same intention. And so we're not going to put up with it. And so, you know, whether it's 40 cars or 60 cars or 100 cars, you know, go enjoy a race, go out. You know, if it's done by 10, then guess what? You're not getting home at 2 a.m, right? And that's okay. It's okay. I actually got home before midnight from a racetrack for the first time in a really long time, and it was okay. I lived to tell about it. You know. And that's fine. But I've also been at the track at 3 a.m. So I get it. And I would have been that fan like you. We would stay until the end. But families right now, I can tell you, I see families all the time. And I, as being a former teacher, trying to get families to a racetrack, the number one thing I would hear from them, they just go long, right? They don't, you know, and I remember not too long ago, there was a really big late model street stock and template race in this area where there was like 40, 50 minutes between events, and that the Outlaw Super Late Model race with Kenny Wallace and Kenny Schrader didn't take the track until 12:01 in the morning. And how many people paid a ticket, which was higher, right? Because it's a special show. How many paid a ticket to watch those two racers who didn't get to watch those two racers?
Yeah.
So the constructive criticism from that would be, you know, there are a lot of fans who walked away disappointed because they didn't get to watch that, but that doesn't also mean that we have to drag this out and remind the track over and over and over again. Like they said, whoops, you know, that was our fault. We should have done better. And they made changes the following year so that it wasn't like that, right? But be constructive. Don't just go on and bash. Right. And they removed the driver intros the way they were. They were trying to make it like NASCAR with the trucks going around, and it was cool. It just took too long.
Yeah.
And so, right, be constructive. But if you're just bashing, and I sense that it's just bashing, I'm going to give you one warning, sometimes two. There's one guy on there who's got like 10. But he's been better this year. He's actually been really good. Like, I will give people chances. I don't want to just be the delete and block right away. But I also, if you're just going to keep engaging and double down, you're probably going to be on my block list. And you're going to all the bots that are on there. So, because that's mostly what my block list is. It's very few anti-block. It's mostly the people where I'm like, I don't even know what language that is. So that's definitely a block. Because I definitely know your country does not have access to my page. I've made it that way. So that's where all the spam bots come from. So block, block, block. Maybe you're a real person. I'm sorry, but block, right? Like I'm not chancing that. So there's not many people on that block list, but I have no issue putting someone there if they deserve it.
Yeah.
So, but be that as it may, I know this Thursday, I want to remind everyone again this Thursday about the Thursday night throttle. Definitely we'll come back to your final thoughts. I just, since
you're good.
And I wanted to make sure that I get this. And then also reminder tonight through next Monday, if you go to the store, the brand new store, 40% off automatically. You don't have to put a discount code or anything in there. There's tie-dye t-shirts, there's t-shirts, there's keychains and stickers, indoor and outdoor. Tons of different things on the store. Definitely check it out. 40% off on all orders through next Monday at 11:59 p.m. And then the discount code will expire. And I'm sure I'll add something new to there. But again, just want to remind for the Thursday night throttle. But other than that, nope, we already did that graphic, so I don't want to mess that up. But anything else good for the group? That way we don't end on a sour note. But I felt like the conversation was important to have, especially after this weekend.
No, I agree. I agree with you 100%. I did have a shout out that I wanted to give earlier, and now it's stuck in the back of my brain. First off, I want to shout out Dirty D Andrew DeVries. He's got a badass fast street stock this year, and it's going to be fun trying to watch anybody trying to run him down for the rest of the year. So, shout out to
Rich Bolden. Let's talk about Rich Bolden for a moment, because he came out and now he was right there, and this is the second week in a row I feel like his street stock has been on point. Where he seems comfortable. You figure the week before, I know not as many street stocks were there, but you could put a blanket on the top four right there.
Yeah.
And then, obviously Dirty D, he's just been incredible behind that street stock.
Haley, that's who I originally wanted to shout out, was Haley. Haley's done such a good job. I told her on Facebook, but I feel like it's so obvious how comfortable she's gotten so quickly in the street stock. I feel like she's more comfortable in the street stock than she was in 2 years or whatever in the Hornets. So shout out to Haley Bull. I know that's a big jump, and one I don't think I would be able to do. So she's doing really good in that street stock so far. So shout out Haley Bull.
Well, and that's an example there, right? I could have posted her taking splish splash, and said the only thing she was missing is a rubber duck, or try to make it, kind of fun so it's not stressful or anything. But I didn't do that, because I also know that she's working on confidence in that car. And the last thing she needs to see on Facebook is, her, which she had help, by the way. She did not.
Yeah, it wasn't on her. Yeah.
Definitely. Sage Hannah's onboard camera will show exactly what happened, because Sage was there. Sage was not the one who did it.
It wasn't Sage's fault either.
It was not Sage's fault, but Sage was right there, and you can see the exact bump that happened that put Haley in the mud. But I didn't post that because I didn't want her to go back in the pit area, get on Facebook and see that and go, she's already, she's working on that confidence in the car. And then to see that, it's like, nope, not posting. I could have posted it. Could have had a couple thousand views there and, likes and all that. But it's like, not worth it, because I need Haley to know that she's a badass. And I need to know that she's getting this whole street stock thing, and that she is doing really well for such a short time. And so,
and beat her dad in a heat race this week. Excited about that at intermission.
Right at the line. I mean, but that's something that, again, she was racing out there with Charlie Hannah, and getting ahead of him, and obviously Charlie's really, really good behind the wheel, has a lot to his resume. So that's why again,
Yeah.
there are things that I could post that I didn't, and I have no plans to post that, because I don't need Haley to sit there and second guess herself, even though she had help on that, to then feel defeated because she found the mud puddle in turn 3.
Right.
It's like, no, like I said, that would have been at least 3,000, 4,000 views worth, because of how that splash was. Then post it. Now it's part of the race on YouTube, because it's literally part of the race. I mean, you can't just make it disappear like nothing happened here. Keep moving on.
Yeah.
But I can make the choice on whether it's on Facebook and highlight it or not, and I didn't, because I need her to just keep growing that confidence and not use that as like, man, in a Hornet it was easier. Man, in a Hornet I didn't do that or whatever. Like, go out, because she's gonna get I don't know, maybe this year she'll get a future win, but if she's right there knocking on the door and gets one, I wouldn't also be shocked.
No, yeah, she's already at the point where she can win one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's where it's like, let's keep her moving in that direction there, because she's gonna do some, if it's not this year, it'll be next year for sure.
I agree.
But like I said, if it happens this year, I will not be surprised at all. And it's like,
and it's June 8th, and look how much comfortable she's gotten already. So,
4 races, I think, totals in the street stock.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's raced at other tracks in the street stock, but at least know at New Paris. I think
at
this
least once.
Her 4th race, at least once. So she's out there doing it,
once,
hanging with them. So again, kudos to her, kudos to Rich. He seems really comfortable in that street stock now. I know they were fighting some gremlins at the beginning of the year, but it's 2 races in a row that he's really been up front and being a factor with that.
And a win at South Bend earlier this year. So
win at
Rich,
South Bend, which could be the final street stock race there. No one knows. So again, just to have that. So really, that's probably like 3 or 4 weeks strong runs out of that street stock for him. So, so again, just go somewhere. If you only pay attention to the car count, I once told someone this. It was a fan who's been around for a while. I said, well, I'm going to put it this way. I've never been about quantity. I've been about quality. And I always give the example at Springport. At Springport, our template late model class, we weren't knocking them out with 10, 12, 15 cars. We had 8 cars. We had 7 cars, sometimes 5 cars. And someone might look at that and go, well, anybody could win at Springport when there's only 5 cars. And I would go, well, Jerry Pierman just beat them at Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
All the heavy dogs. John Trudell just hung with all of them at Kalamazoo and almost won. And you say anybody can win at Springport, but they just proved that those anybody's can go race at Kalamazoo. So it's not all about quantity. Yeah, you could put 15 cars out there that are broke.
Right.
And then you're going to have a race that's caution filled and oil dry and all this stuff. Or I've even said before, take two, anybody you want, Brock's, Alex Sexton's, whatever, put them in a drag race for 5 laps and you'll be more entertained than a race. You might have 20 out there.
Yeah, I've legitimately seen great 2-car races in my life.
Yeah. So it's like, a lot of people, because size matters apparently to some people. And it's like, you know what?
I get it to an extent. Like I said earlier, we all want to see 150 cars, but it's just not reality anymore. Unless you're paying $100,000 to win or something, you're not going to get that much.
Well, just think that there are races that have paid really good money.
Yeah.
And nobody showed up.
Yeah.
Right. Now, some of that was promoter based, because the people who did show up still didn't get paid. But we don't have to go down, that's XR rated. Yeah. But anyways,
that's for the courts to decide now.
Like I said, XR rated. But it's one of those things that, again, you could put a $5,000 to win race. That doesn't mean you're going to get 40 cars.
Yep.
It depends on the tire and what's the tire, and it's an American racer or Hoosier. And I never raced an American racer, or I never raced on Cobra. Yeah. Well, you know what?
My family can't bring in a cooler, so we ain't coming.
Another trigger, but a whole nother topic. But that's one of those things, right? Like, I can't go to the South Bend Cubs game and bring in my cooler with all my own drinks and food and all that, but whatever. But anyways, it's one of those that, right, just go support somewhere. I mean, even think of M40, their Night of Destructions. They had 20 cars last year and 13 cars this year, And those races were probably just as entertaining as cars when I've seen 70 on the track.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And those are Sundays too. So that's, I mean, no excuse not to get out to one of those.
you know, and it's going to take time for them to build that. They know
Yeah,
that
for sure. Yep.
But it's one of those.
I
That,
gotta
again,
go. I gotta go to the next one. I have to go to the next one.
Yes. Oh no, you need to. It's definitely well worth it, and it's a Sunday and it's at the racetrack. But
Yeah.
But it's one of those that again you can enjoy, even if there's not 100 cars. I promise you, you know, the cars at these tracks that, you know, they might only have 8 out there. Those drivers pay the same pit pass and they're up to put on a show as a division that brought 40. You know, so just go enjoy it. And if you have something negative to say about it, you know what? Tracks will take sponsorships. Like the Hornet class at New Paris is not sponsored.
Tracks are looking for help too.
Yep.
Everybody needs tech officials and people helping out for security and whatever else you need to do. Everybody's got big opinions. Let's help out. I'm helping out. I'm trying to help out. Are you guys?
Well, for 20, or I think is it 13, 1400, 1500, something like that. For $1,500, you could be the sponsor of the Hornets at New Paris. And guess what? That $1,500 isn't going to pay the purse for the whole season.
Yeah.
That mostly pays for the insurance and everything at the front of the season. You know, because it's really it's expensive, but not super expensive to be a class sponsor. But I promise you, it doesn't pay the whole season.
Yeah, I can't speak for every week, but if you do want to be a class sponsor at New Paris, those names get in a lot. They're locked in here.
So again, I know after having a couple short shows, we've had a little bit, but this has been a nice conversation, right? It isn't, you know, time's gone fast because the conversation isn't dragging, but not that others have dragged, but it's like, you know, we're just in that point of the season where it's like, you know, we have tracks that are closing, we have tracks that are for sale, we have tracks that are announcing every single day that they're closing the doors.
Yep.
You know, if you just have something negative to say it on your own page. Don't go to all these other pages to say it, because it's just
sleep on it. Take an hour. Walk away from your phone. It's like, does this comment add to the world?
Yeah.
Is this necessary?
Yeah. You know, just do the soundbite check. Is it worth?
Yeah.
It's worth it. You know, and I sometimes say, like, you're not too young. You might remember way back when cell phones were first a big thing and everyone got AIM Messenger. AOL Messenger.
I remember AIM. Yeah.
So excited to have an AOL account and sign in for 25 cents a day. You could use AIM as much as you wanted. When text messages were 25 cents a send, right? You got an AIM. Everybody had AIM. You got on AIM and you heard someone, you heard the little ding. And sometimes I said, you know what, on social media, people should be charged to be able to comment for the day.
Yeah.
Then you know what? You spend 25 cents, you can say as much as you want on that page. You know, you pay each page. So if you want to go to WSBT and tell them how they're biased and all these other things, or Fox News or NBC or whatever, wherever, NASCAR, like 25 cents. And if it's worth it to you, you'll pay it. Right. So, and if it's not worth it to you and you say, well, that's too much money, then your opinion's not worth it. You can have your opinion, it's okay, but you've already just declared it's not worth the money. So if it's not worth the money, meaning if you don't think it's going to help, don't do it, because that page, wherever it is, has every right, not even right, it's a privilege. They have the privilege to remove the comment, hide the comment, block. Like, there's no court of appeals for that. There's no protesting. Like, you've earned the privilege of being blocked. So, so again, just, think, how can I help? Or if I have this thing I need to say, like, man, I just remember when there's 40 cars in this class, what can I do to help bring more cars? Yeah. Offer a solution. You'll get a lot further with people than if you just moan and complain. Yep. And that's in anything.
Yeah. I guess then on more of a positive note, I was looking in the chat a little bit here. Thank you to everybody who has said nice things about my announcing. I very much appreciate it. I'm not very good at taking compliments, so Chris and Tracy were very nice when they were on. Thank you, everybody. It is very much appreciated.
If it makes you feel better, I thought you did a crappy job.
Hey, we can average it out.
You already know what I thought. I already said that, and
I appreciate it.
But again, and also, huge kudos to everyone in the comments who's been engaging. I'm really
very, very full chat.
I hope Benny and New Paris can come to an agreement, because I've been talking with Benny and him about coming down to Amish country. They'd be making the drive all the way from Battle Creek and towards Lansing area, so that would be quite a haul for them. But it's they'll bring 4 or 5 cars, and then if they bring some cars, they'll have other people bring cars, and so that would be, that'd be a fun race. Most of them would fall in the 4-cylinder group, so I don't know what they feel about going against mini stocks, but some of them race with Drew's group, and Drew has mini stocks, so like Sheldon Lindlag proved that you can beat a mini stock with front wheel drive. It just, even if they had a lot of ponies behind them, but other than that, so I hope with that, but I share it out. What I've been doing is I've not been posting this podcast on the other platforms until 10 the next morning, so it's kind of like, if you want to watch it, like, our views go up afterwards, because I think you get other people watching across some of the other states, or some people are working, whatever it may be, that, or they might be watching something else on TV and come watch us. But again, we were on the new Paris page, although I think I ended it correctly. I couldn't believe it was supposed to leave with them, so I felt bad. It's like, I don't want to talk about until I know we're off, because that's not fair to them, and especially for allowing us to be on their page. But at least live, someone can still go see the post, but it wasn't live, and I think that that was a little different. So because it did end on their screen perfectly on their graphic for the showcase, so I'm like, ooh, that was perfect too. I don't know if Facebook did that. I mean, Facebook did that. I didn't do it. So I'm like, thank you, Facebook. Right? Right thumbnail. But other than that, so this will be on all the other platforms tomorrow. But definitely, the more you guys help share it out, the more you help all that. I mean, we've had 9,000 views, 8,000 views, 6,000 views. Just absolutely incredible. So that's helping us. That helps our drivers. That helps New Paris. And I don't know who I have next week. I actually forgot. I need to look at my schedule. But there's definitely room on our schedule to get some more people in. I know Ralph has talked about being on here. I'm trying to put our Night of Destruction people closer to the Night of Destruction at New Paris. That way, it's kind of, it's all there. But definitely, Colin Bozell is who I was talking with. So, trying to get Colin on here, and then a couple others that I have in mind that I want to get on here. I'm going to get some Galesburg drivers on here. So I'm going to try to see whoever wins maybe this Saturday, the Rodney Russell Memorial, see if we can get them on to kind of talk about that. And, because we got to get some Galesburg on here. We haven't done that yet.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
So I'm like, we need that, right? So we've had Kalamazoo, we've had New Paris, we've had South Bend, Plymouth, we've had Hartford. We got to get Galesburg. So, so other than that, Boujou, anything final for the good of the group?
I think we covered everything tonight.
All right. Well, again, Boujou, as always, thank you for an awesome show. And just in a couple of days from now, it'll be time to turn left and go fast, because
we'll see you at the races.
We'll see everybody at the races.